Csu-Pueblo Thunderbolts football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350. Let's head to the field and join the voices of the pack, Jim Brooks and Joe Cervi.
A very pleasant good afternoon. Welcome to the Thunderbowl for today's home finale for the Thunderbolts of Csu-Pueblo as they play host to the Mountaineers of Western State. I'm Jim Brooks, joined by the Chieftains' Joe Cervi. And Joe, we've come to the end of the home season. It just seems like it's just barely begun, but here we are. That's the way football works.
It's weird because it's the last home game of the season, but it's only there's still two more after this, so it feels like we're chugging to the end, but it's really not. And it's kind of got that feel of the crowd when we drove up. We get here early, and the tailgating's very muted. The people who like to come in early to watch the teams warm up, there's literally dozens of people here watching the teams warm up. It's a little bit sad for senior night because there's some great seniors on this team, and you hope that the fans would come out and give them a little bit more of a reception, but it's just the schedule has been weird the entire year. And you and I we've talked about that as we've been home and then gone for a month, and then home and then gone for a month. It's just one of those years.
And then you're playing a ball club that's 1-7 coming in. People can read. People know. They just don't have that feeling that Western State's going to give the Thunderbolts much of a game today. But don't tell John Riston that. He has a lot of respect for this Western State program.
Well, if you read my advance today in today's Chieftain, you look at their last three scores: 10-7, 20-10, and then I still go back to 2014 when Csu-Pueblo won the national championship. We were in Gunnison, and I was standing on the sidelines because I was going to have to interview John after a game where they had no business winning, and Chris Bonner and Cam McDonald took them, I think it was 96 yards in 3 minutes for the miraculous go-ahead touchdown. That game, when you go back to that the regular season of the 2014 when they won it all, that might have been the defining game of that year because they were dead to rights.
They were, and that was the same year. Remember, of course, they lost to Fort Lewis that year as well, so they had to have that game or the 2014 national championship would have never happened. But the one key cog to that ball club for Western State that's no longer here, but he's playing in the National Football League now, is Austin Eckler, and so don't have to worry about that anymore, and he was quite a ball player for this Western State team.
Well, he was so good that you don't replace a guy like Austin Eckler, and John Riston, he tried to recruit him, but he was coming to tailback you at the time, with Cam and the McDonald's and Bernard, JB, and there was a lot of good running, but Marche was here at the time, so there was a logjam at tailback, and Austin wanted to play, so he goes to Western State, and then John called him a self-made man. I thought that was a great description on Wednesday on the coaches show. He talked about how Austin's a self-made man, and he played on some pretty bad teams, and got in the NFL, so that tells you how talented he was, or is.
And we got a full dose of that last week watching him play for the Chargers against the Broncos last week. He was a difference maker in that ballgame. Had the touchdown, plus he frankly ran better than the much heralded Gordon. Gordon's supposed to be the big guy. Of course he had the knee injury, still rounding into shape, but Austin was definitely the best running back on the field that day.
Well, and he was so good at Western State that trying to replace him this year has been a chore. If you just look at their stats, they've had 4 or 5 guys audition, so to speak. And I even talked to Garrett Fink, who's the sports information director, assistant athletic director at Western. He says it's by committee right now because we don't have that guy.
And they're down at quarterback too. They're down to their second or third quarterback on the year as well. So they're not scoring points, but they're you read their release. We love Garrett. You got to kind of gloss over some things and say, well, we're great in the fourth quarter this year. So that means they're not quitting on people. They'll play the full 60 minutes.
Well, I think it was a Csu-Pueblo release that said that Csu-Pueblo scored more in the second quarter this year than Western State has scored all season. And that just tells you the offensive woes they've had. But there's a lot of young faces. Western State lost 30-some seniors from last year, including Eckler and Aravi, the quarterback, who was there forever too. So these were talented players. It wasn't like they were good football players.
Well, Thunderbolts really desperate for victories. They need to win out, and then they need to get some help along the way if they want to make the postseason playoffs. But it all comes down to you got to take care of your own business before you start worrying about other people's business.
Well, and if you don't have that mindset, you have no business being here. And all you have to do is look back 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So if it's not fresh in your mind still, we said we're not going to talk about Fort Lewis anymore after a 49-0 win last week.
Yeah.
But somehow that conversation, just because you hope they got it in their mind that they can't look ahead, and they definitely can't look past Western State, because this is a team. Todd Auer is a defensive coordinator at Western State, and he's a very good defensive coordinator. He's the kind of coordinator that could be on this staff.
Right.
And so in my mind, you better respect them.
Well, we'll be keeping track on all the games throughout the afternoon that the Thunderbolts need to go their way, and they're already kind of got shot in the foot a little bit on Thursday because Minnesota Duluth is one of those teams that is ranked ahead of them, and they've already won their ball game on Thursday night in impressive defensive fashion, 17-0. So that didn't go the Thunderbolts' way. But there's other games that could fall into place. They could sneak in there some way if they win it, and we'll keep track of those games throughout the day. We come back after this timeout. We'll talk to the head coach, John Riston. That'll comes your way next. Thunderwolves pregame show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Welcome back to the Thunderbolts pregame show, and joining me now, head coach John Riston. And John, we've reached the end of the regular season home line. Just time flies by.
It's unbelievable. We're just talking about 3 consecutive road trips, and now here we are at the end of October, and we're honoring our seniors, the last home game, guaranteed home game, and we're honoring 14 really outstanding young men that have come here and grown and matured, and so I'm really proud of that. And, this is really what the time that we call the gold box, about playing our best ball in the gold box, because there's prizes in the gold box.
Well, this has been a great senior class. When you look back, they were part of the national championship team. A lot of them were, redshirt freshmen that year. Some just coming into the fold. So it's been quite a class.
Well, they're part of the foundation, the pillars that we talk about of demonstrating what trust, faith, and patience are, and our core values. And this group has done it. And we're graduating 2 special kids from Pueblo that have been mainstays in our offense line, and that's Keith Head from Pueblo West, and Ty McCauley has been from Pueblo Central. And so, whenever you can have a chance to have Pueblo kids come through here and be successful, that's what you really hope this program can do for young men.
Well, you mentioned the Pueblo aspect. There's a lot of your players come from all over the country. Where do they end up staying, John? They stand right here. They like it here.
Well, we've been fortunate. In fact, we had 2 former players that played on the national championship that are they just got final approval of buying a house. Right. They're citizens of the future, as I look at it, and they're glad to be here. And so that's one of those things that I think that the university and the athletic programs do provide for this community, that go unseen, unnoticed, until their people bring it up.
Now, let's get back to football. Last week, team bounced back nice. I thought they played a great ball game on all aspects. And it just showed the enthusiasm. They really wanted to be out there and really to play hard.
Well, I think that, as I said in our last, I think your character got revealed a little bit, but your character is also how you respond and how your makeup is when you get hit in the mouth and not be able to handle those things. Well, we did a great job. We started fast. Finished faster, in my opinion, is what we were able to do in the second and third quarters to kind of put that out of reach. And we're trying to build this thing and play our best ball. And I'm excited to see what this game's going to look like.
And what you got to be stressing your ball club too, you only have 3 games that are guaranteed, so you better take advantage of these 3. If we take advantage of these 3, maybe there's something on the backside, but take advantage of what's what's ahead of you right now?
Well, we can only control what we can control, and that's 1-0 each week. I know people who think that's coach's talk, but that's the process of understanding, and you have to stress that each and every time, because Division II, you got to be perfect. You got to be almost perfect on everything you do, especially in football. You know, we have a chance to win the league and not make the playoffs is another way to look at it. But I really think that the way, as our discussion on Wednesday night radio show, is that if we handle our business, there's a lot of football to be played in this region, that things are going to be able to turn some things over.
Well, and your ball club knows all too well what a young upstart team can do to you. You got upset a couple weeks ago. This Western State ball club, even though their record is poor, they're still out there flying around. They're playing hard. If you don't take care of business, they could cause you a lot of problems.
Well, I think that one thing I noticed about this Western State team is they play hard. I've never seen them not give up, and they're playing hard to their coaches' credit. They're listening to their coaches. I could see it. They're sound in what they do. They're just awful young. And so our job is to make sure that we go play as fast and hard as we can. And we had a great week of practice, so I'm excited about the direction this team and this program's going.
Well, the team revolves around the quarterback, of course. A chance to see, I suppose, Brandon Edwards today. Hopefully he can get back in the ball game, see some action. Yeah,
we're starting Rex, and Rex is going to go the first quarter, and we're going to see how it goes when we get Brandon in there.
And, of course, Gunner, your true freshman, he's acquitted himself quite well in this little stint he's had.
How about that kid? He just comes, and he's been able to play, and I think he's going to have a bright future here at Csu-Pueblo.
All right, let's go get a win.
Let's go, Pack.
Thunderbolts head coach John Riston back with more of our pregame show right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Welcome back to the Neta and Eddie DeRose Thunderbowl. Jim Brooks along with the Chiefs and Joe Cervi to bring you today's ball game. Caitlin Norton, our producer and engineer, band down the field performing. Thunderbolts have taken the field here a little earlier than normal because it is senior day, so they're all lining up, the underclassmen anyway, out on the field, and they'll start honoring some of the senior class. But, Joe, this is indeed kind of a celebrated senior class because these guys were around, they're kind of the foundation, a lot of them, for the national championship team.
Well, Ty McCauley was, the year before he played as a true freshman, kind of got thrown into the mix. And, we're partial to Ty and Keith because, as John said, this show is, Pueblo guys, we like to see, because only the best Pueblo guys play here. And if people, they need to understand that a lot of Pueblo guys try and get on this team, but the guys who end up on the field are only the best Pueblo guys. And you look at Kevin Rivers, you look at Shane Larson, who we love Shane Larson from Pueblo West. These are the kids with the heart, the soul. And senior day is always bittersweet because, I build relationships with these players over the years. And, Zach Boyd's one of my all-time favorites. And to see him go is going to be as hard as anybody.
Well, some of the, talking about the Pueblo connection, some of the most celebrated, perhaps, Pueblo prepsters came out for the Thunderbolts and they didn't make it. They lasted, some of them lasted less than a week or two. It's like, hey, you got to be able to come out and try to cut it, and it's tough.
Well, it's Division II football, so you have to start with loving it first.
Right.
And then worrying about everything else after that. But if you don't love the grind, and you don't love the game from the ground up, you're not going to make it. And then you're like a guy like Ty McCauley or Keith Head or Kevin Rivers. You've got the biggest guys on the team and the littlest guy on the team, and they start.
Right.
And they're from Pueblo.
Cool to see. Seniors starting to be announced as they come out here. We're going to, what we do today in our starting lineup, usually we give you either the offense or the defense. What I'm going to do today for the Thunderbolts is give you the senior that are graduating. We also have, of course, Austin Miles, who doesn't play this year, but they're honoring him as well, who's been helping out, doing a little coaching this year.
Well, and the one person they're not honoring today is a senior, which, to me, if I'm a Csu-Pueblo Thunderbolt fan, I'm ecstatic about, is they're not honoring Bernard McDonald. And that means he's going to redshirt and come back, which, if you have ever seen him play, and you know you have,
Yeah.
you got to be thrilled about it, because he could have easily called it good.
Right.
He's been beat up. It's been a long 3.5 years, but you know what? He's coming back.
Yeah, he wants one more shot at it. Of course, going down early this year with the leg injury, so he's rehabbing. Seems to be doing well with that, so look forward to seeing him next year. Josh Croy just being introduced here, and he is a mammoth man. Isn't he coming through that line?
Well, people don't understand. His season ended before it started last year, so he missed all of 2015. He had to sit out the spring, or all of 2016. He had to sit out, disenroll from school in the spring so that he was still eligible for this semester only. Then Rex Dowson comes through, Dominic Cisse. And then here's one of my favorites. And he's a senior. You don't realize, because he's just a human battering ram. Probably averages a carry a game, maybe. Yeah. And he's always smiling. Patrick O'Malley, the fullback.
Yeah, he has been a great contributor to this program. Always great to see these seniors being honored here. We'll come back after this timeout. Joe's going to give you the keys to victory for today's ball game. That all comes your way next. Thunderbolts pregame show on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Thunderbowl. Ty McCulley being introduced to the fans here now, and he's walking through the gauntlet of players. And been a tough, emotional couple of weeks for Ty, but their family's strong.
Yeah, his grandfather, Charles McCulley, a pillar in the society of Pueblo, and a good friend of my family's, and probably a good friend of a lot of families. And you know what? Ty has had like you said, an emotional week or so. And it's been a while, but you know what? He's strong, and I follow Ty on Twitter, and he's always upbeat, and he's always got some very poignant things to say, and it's fun to watch him grow up.
And Keith Head also just introduced, along with Sammy Long.
Keith Head is the anti-everyone. Keith Head is the biggest kid on this team, and I mean that in the literal sense, because he's 6'8", and the personality sense, because he lights up a room. He's goofy, he's fun, he breaks up meetings, he makes everybody smile and laugh, and he's a player.
And of course, become our favorite. The family's become our favorite. Aaron Eckhoff about to be introduced, and he's coming through the line right now. Kind of cool. So, it's good, like you say, Joe. You get relationships with all these guys. They're just not here for 4 years. A lot of them you end up being you have a relationship for life with them.
Well, and they're great guys. They come back to town, and you see them on the sidelines. They give you a bro hug, and we follow them along. But a guy like Zach Boyd, gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, and he is. Talk about one of the all-time greats. He is right there, and of course had the big play in the semifinal game here. Remember when he caught the touchdown pass, which gave the Thunderbolts lead late over West Georgia. He'll always have that to think back on, one of his great plays. Joe, let's go to the keys to victory for today's game. First for the Thunderbolts, what do they have to do to win this thing?
I think the Thunderbolts have to just do what they do. They're going to have to run the football. They're going to have to maintain possession. They can't afford to turn it over. And then they're going to have to fly around on defense and assert themselves and say, look, we are supposed to be this good.
For Western State to stay in the ball game and maybe come out on top in the end, what do they have to do?
Well, the thing, if you notice Western State, if you look at their stats, they have a penchant to turn the ball over. They've only played 8 games, and they have more than 20 turnovers. You can't do that.
Come back after this. We'll have the starting lineups right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Well, it's as close to a perfect day for football as you can get this time of year here in late October. 58 degrees the temperature right now. A slight wind out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour. No chance of precipitation. Expect a high of 60 by the time the game ends. Football's next on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Thunderbowl. Gotten a lot of the pregame activities out of the way early, but there's still 2:35 on the clock. We're still a little ways from the top of the hour. Joe, what happened on the coin toss?
Well, I had one job, failed miserably. wasn't paying attention. I was looking at Morgan Fox is on the sidelines. NFL defensive end for the Los Angeles Rams. They have a bye week this week, and he's in town. Josiah Flack was a linebacker on the national championship team. He's an honorary captain. Anyway, Western State won the toss and deferred. Csu-Pueblo will receive in their all-red uniforms and go from right to left or from south to north.
Well, today's seniors for the Thunderwolves, O'Shea Washington, 5'11" senior out of Stockton, California. Josh Croy, the 6'4", 260-pound senior out of Littleton, went to Columbine High School. Starting quarterback today, Rex Dowson, 6'3", 214-pound senior out of San Antonio, Texas. Dominic Cisse, he's a 5'11", 182-pound senior out of Long Beach, California. Patrick O'Malley, 6', 234-pound senior out of Denver's Cherry Creek High School. And we get to the lineman, Alex Mitchell, 6'3", 326-pound junior out of Portland, Oregon. Corbin Feenstra, 6'2", 276-pound senior out of Superior, went to Monarch High School. Spencer Nathy, 6'2", 288-pound senior out of Peoria, Arizona. Ty McCulley, he's a 6'5", 308-pound senior out of Pueblo Central. Keith Head, of course, he's a 6'7", 288-pound senior out of Pueblo West High School. Sammy Long, the fourth, 6'4", 203-pound senior out of Lakewood, Washington. Aaron Eckhoff, 6'3", 237-pound senior out of Dallas, Texas. And Zach Boyd, the 6'4", 233-pound senior out of Fort Lupton, Colorado. And Austin Miles, of course, not playing this year, but still helping out here on the coaching staff. He's out of Durango, Colorado. Thunderwolves will get the ball first. They'll move it right to left as we look at it. As Joe mentioned, and they're all Reds.
Undefeated in the red.
Thank you, Donovan, and thank you, Kaiser.
And to kick off, it'll be Max Smith, sophomore out of Discovery Canyon for the Mountaineers.
And Janelle Turak from Security Service Investment Group.
Thunderwolves back deep. We'll have Donnell and O'Donnell, who's getting kickoff return duty now. And it's going to head over his way. And he takes it 5 yards deep in the end zone, comes out of there with it across the 10, 15, makes a cut across the 15 out to about the 19-yard line. So by coming out of the end zone, they sacrifice 6 yards in field position. But as Joe's mentioned throughout the year, that John Riston wants them to come out of the end zone. Try to make a play early in the game.
Yeah, he encourages his guys, if you can, take it out, because they have a lot of faith in the return game. They always have. So he's been an electric part of this program. And unless you get hit at the 8, then he's not going to be very happy.
Yeah, or you turn it over.
Well, there's that, too.
And Rex Dowson gets the start today. We do expect, though, to see Brandon Edwards later on in this ball game. Up under center on this first play from scrimmage, Marseille Denard, the lone back. And he's going to get the carry off the right side. And he gets maybe a yard on the play to about the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Thunderwolves.
You know, we had a philosophical discussion about that on the John Riston show, of what kind of philosophy John is if a starter loses his job because of injury, does he get it back when he's healthy? I don't know that we got an answer.
No, it was kind of a hem-ha.
The non-denial denial?
A little ebb and flow in that answer.
There was some ebb and flow. I'm not sure what we decided. And who's to say Brandon Edwards is 100% either?
Washington and Smith wide to the left this time. O'Malley, the fullback in the game. He resets now on the left side of the formation. Up under center, it's Dowson. Long count here. Takes the snap, gives it to Denard up the middle. And he gets very little on the play, maybe a yard or two out to about the 22-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7. So early on in this ball game, Western State's defense flying around a bit out there.
There was no rhythm to that play. It looked like he wanted to check out of it and then realized I didn't have enough time. And then he thought, well, maybe, and then no, and then you get 2 yards.
So 3rd and 7. So the first obvious pass situation of the day. Riverich into the game. He'll split wide to the left. O'Shea's in the slot to the left. Looks like Amon Johnson wide to the right on this formation for the Thunderbolts. From the pistol this time. Dowson resets Boyd to the left side of the formation. Mountaineers show blitz. Here they come. Up the middle. Dowson gets the pass away. Fires it ahead. Riverich with a great grab out at the 35-yard line. Boy, he snared that one. Frozen rope that time, and Rivers snagged it with the hands.
You know, the best part about Rex Dowson's game, you know, he's a rhythm passer, but that was a perfect dart because he throws the ball hard, and that needed to be. And Rivers is not very big, 5'6", 5'5", sticks his mitts out there and just... That ball was either going to go incomplete or catch to him. I don't ever think he was down.
Yeah, there's an expression. Sometimes the quarterback has to throw you open, and that's what he did that time because he threw Rivers toward the center of the field away from the coverage. Here's a quick screen left side to Long, and breaks one tackle and then is taken down for a loss of one back at the 34-yard line. Quick little wide receiver screen.
You know, you on that play, when you have single coverage like that, you're entrusting your receiver to make a guy miss. And he turned in and tried to take it into coverage instead of outside and get 4 or 5 yards. Instead, he lost one.
Second down here for the Thunderwolves. They go wide out to each side. Eckhoff in motion to the right side. Resets. And the sprint draw right side to Denard. He's hit in the backfield. Falls forward out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Gain of 3. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Thunderwolves. So they converted on 3rd and 7 earlier. Going to have to convert on 3rd and 8 to keep this first drive of the game alive.
You know, these are not the down and distances Dave Brown was hoping for the offense. But, as John Riston says, you have to be patient with this running game because just as soon as you run away from it, all hell could break loose. But he could be one play away from breaking it, too.
Johnson to the right, Smith and Washington to the left. Going to move the pocket left, and they get pressure on Dowson. They sack him back inside the 30 at the 28-yard line. They missed the block on the right side, and Dowson went down hard in a heap. So
Jim, the down linemen from Western State didn't even get down. They were 2 yards off the ball back, and as soon as the ball was snapped, they all just started running. And 2 guys went unblocked, one from the left side, one from the right side. -9 on the sack.
Tanner Kuda in to punt the ball away. Low snap, but he handles it. Gets it away. End-over-end kick. Not his best. Taken at the 28. Good coverage by the Thunderwolves.
Well, good series by
Donnell on the stop. Sorry, Joe.
Good series by Western State's defense. Again, like we said, Todd Hauer is a very good defensive coordinator, and he's milking every ounce of ability out of his team right now.
Easton Bruer are going to get the start at quarterback, along with Ty Leba is his back. They open up in the pistol. 2 wideouts to the right, single wideout left. Ball's at the 27-yard line for the Mountaineers. They're going to give it up the middle, and little or nothing there. And Sizer on the stop for the Thunderwolves. No gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Followed by number 52, Dale Sizer. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Teams have had success running right at Csu-Pueblo, far more than trying to go run wide.
This time Leba lines up on the right hip, so it's the gun formation here for Bruer. Changes the call. Now a flag now, going to get a false start. I think here a snap infraction.
Looks like he moved the football.
Yeah.
It looked like the center moved the football. You can move it with your hands once to get it set. Then if you move it again,
it's like almost like a 6-yard mark off. It's back at the 21-yard line here. So the handoff up the middle to Leba, and he gets nothing.
Number 5, Roderick.
So it'll be 3rd down for the Mountaineers. Possession going nowhere here.
And look for high percentage passes from Western State. They don't have a pitch to go deep. They have one good receiver.
Well, Barrera on the year, 17 of 32. He has thrown 4 interceptions. That's been his bugaboo so far. Dillon, their regular starter, out. Here rolling the pocket right, throwback screen left. It's complete, but it's going to lose yardage. Thunderwolves read it beautifully. Brandon Payer there in to make the stop. Back inside the 20-yard line. So it'll be 4th down as each play just kept getting worse for Western State on that possession. All negatives plus the penalty thrown in. That means punt formation here. It'll be Garrett Boyd in to punt it away. Rivers stands back at his own 38-yard line.
The fearless one.
It's a good snap. Kick is away. Doesn't turn over. Angle toward the left, and it's going to go out of bounds right around midfield here. It depends on where the angle is here. And they're going to mark it right at midfield, and that's where the Thunderbolts will take over here for their second possession of the ball game. So inauspicious start for Western State on offense. Thunderbolts did pick up a first down on their first set of downs, but then got sacked. So neither offense clicking here in the early going. No score, 9:08 to go first quarter.
Same set as the starters, although Josh Smith now in at one of the wideouts. Denard's still back at tailback.
Ball on the right hash mark. Smith comes in motion, might see the jet sweep here. And he's going to throw it. But now he keeps it and loses yardage on the play. He wanted to throw it. He wanted to go deep, but the man was covered down the field. So Smith had to eat it and lose 3 yards on the play.
Jim, the offensive line for Csu-Pueblo is getting blown off the ball. I mean, they're just getting manhandled right now by that 4-man front from Western.
Second down and 13 upcoming for the Pack. Johnson will go to the right.
They may be young on that 4-man front, but they're huge.
Washington in the slot to the left. Smith wide to the left. From the pistol this time, they bring Boyd in motion. Resets on the left side. Dowson rolls left, fires left. Ball caught by Smith at the 50, but that's it. They'll give him forward progress perhaps to the 49-yard line here. A gain of about 4. Well, they're going to go all the way. The official really didn't know where to go. He puts it all the way down to the 47-yard line. That's what happens when you're not sure about yourself. Well, Smith will take that gift.
The far side official marked it there, so that's what the head linesman on our side of the field did.
He didn't even come close to getting there. He caught it at midfield, but oh well. It's the little things. Third down and 8 for the Thunderwolves. Probably officially closer to 7 as the ball's inside the 48-yard line. From the pistol, Dowson takes the snap, and that was a false start, I think, on the left side on the Thunderwolves. I think
flags on the play.
Could have been Amon Johnson.
Yeah, I thought he took off too soon.
Like a sprinter. Got the false start, tried to jump the gun. Well, they called O'Shea Washington on there.
Well, he was the line judge on the opposite side called it. But I'm like you, Joe. I thought Johnson took off too soon down here on the bottom. I just take your pick foul there. So it's going to be third down now and 13 for the Thunderwolves as they marked this penalty off about 6 yards again because it's now at the 43 or at the 47. It was at the 47 on the previous play. I'm a stickler, Joe, aren't I?
I know. I got you.
And they draw him offside, but they didn't come across into the neutral zone. Pass left side, out of bounds. No good.
Wow. No flag on that one where there probably should have been.
Well, Western State's defense, they do line up a little bit off the line of scrimmage, so when they jumped, maybe they didn't quite crease the neutral zone.
And they don't get in a stance. They all stand up, and a 2-point just stands like a linebacker stands.
So it's fourth down and 13 now for the Pack. Nice snap, somehow gets it, and he punts it away. End over end job. Hits inside the 30, inside the 20. Rolling down to about the 15-yard line. Great job that time by Tanner Kuda, not only snagging the bad snap, but then quickly getting the punt away.
Best catch of the half so far has been Tanner Kuda on that snap. Andrew Tomlinson got a little smoke on that one.
After the third quarter.
So Western State will start their second possession of the game from their own 15. No score here in the early going. 7:06 to go in the first quarter. Straight drop back, fire it left and behind the receiver, and getting smoked on the play. The quarterback Brewer, as Shangolo came in there and just blasted him right as he is delivering the pass. That's the reason the pass didn't come out on time for the receiver anyway.
You know, Nort twisted his ankle in practice on Tuesday right in front of me. And they took him off, and he did not practice Wednesday. So I was kind of curious to see what kind of shape he would be in today.
2nd and 10 for the Mountaineers from the 15-yard line. Ball's on the left hash mark. And a quarterback draw here. This is like a Wildcat for him. He's wide open. Across midfield. The 40, the 30, and taken down at the 20-yard line. As they went to the Wildcat formation that time, snapped it to Zach Griggs, and he went right up the middle and takes it all the way down to the Thunderwolves' 19-yard line. Now they mark it back at the 20. What a run for Griggs.
65 yards is all.
Well, they decided to go to the old Wildcat. Now they've made another change. Looks like Spencer Shook has come in at quarterback, so it makes you wonder if something happened maybe to Barrera on that earlier pass. And he's going to run the follow play around the right side, slides to a stop at the 20-yard line.
Now you can't do that as an option quarterback. Take the ball and then give yourself up.
Sunday by number 8, Randy here. A little bite of heaven goes to the Union.
Yeah, we're going to see who's in here quarterback. I'm going to check it out. Nope, they've gone to the freshman. They've gone to Dylan Jacob.
Well, and he had played some.
But they didn't have him listed on the depth chart this week, so they're doing weird things to us. 2nd down and 10. And they give it up the middle this time to Leba, and he gets nothing and has to like it. So Barrera started the game. He took that hit from Shongolo. He got dinged up. They brought Griggs in. He ran the Wildcat run for this huge yardage. And now they've gone back to their freshman who's played exclusively this year, or a lot this year. Has 5 touchdown passes on the year. Does Dylan Jacob, a freshman out of Lakewood, went to Green Mountain High School. It's 3rd and 10 for the Mountaineers. Thunderbolts in press coverage. Here comes pressure up the middle. Get the pass away. It's caught. Close to the first down.
They're going to give it to him.
Good grab on the left side. Zach Manchester. He's caught 17 passes on the year. And he's got the first down. It's 1st and goal. Mountaineers at the 10-yard line. Make some substitutions here. Looks like Storbo coming into the ball game now for the Mountaineers.
You know, Csu-Pueblo gambles quite a bit to blitz, but if they don't get any pressure, they get in trouble. And that time they sent 2 linebackers and Western did a great job of picking up the blitz.
They're going to fake the option, pass right side, just throwing it up for grabs. Should be picked. And it is. Interception by the Thunderwolves, and it's the interception machine.
Darius Williams. Ill-advised pass. He was just trying to throw it away, but he threw it away in the end zone. And
well, that's the 8th interception that Dylan Jacob has thrown this year, and he just threw it up for grabs. And you never want to just throw it up for grabs in the area where Darius Williams is, because you know who's going to grab it then.
Well, it almost like he was just trying to get rid of it. And Darius does a great job of getting a toe drag. In college, you only have to get 1 foot. He had both in.
So Thunderbolts take over at their own 20-yard line here. 1st and 10. No score. 4:33 to go, first quarter.
Michi now in at tailback.
Fake it. Pass right side. Caught. Across the 25, out to about the 27-yard line. That's Rivers again, his 2nd grab of the game. Picks up 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Johnson into the game, and O'Shea Washington comes out for this play.
That was a great throw by Rex Dowson. You know, those are throws we're used to seeing him make without any problem whatsoever.
This time, Rivers will come wide to the left, Johnson to the right. Ball's on the right hash from the pistol. Dowson has Michi with him. Now Eckhoff in motion to the right side, resets. Play action, pass over the middle, caught Johnson across the midfield, 45, 40, up the sideline, 30, 25, knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Amon Johnson. Great strike there by Dowson on the play action, and then he made them all miss. Biggest play of the year for Amon Johnson. His 25th grab of the year.
Jim, I just want to give a shout-out to Tanner Geiger, the defensive lineman from Western State, who tracked that guy down from behind. That's a defensive lineman trying to make the play.
So 1st and 10 Thunderbolts. This time Dowson up under center. Ribbert in motion to the right side. Now resets. Draw play. Michi right side. Good penetration there, and he goes nowhere. Ball might have come out. Western State saying they've got it. They may. And indeed, it is a turnover as Michi fumbles the football, and Western State takes over at the 20-yard line. Well, Western State's defensive front, they're playing well so far in this ball game, and they got good penetration that time. Hit Michi right at the point of attack, and he coughed it up.
They don't put that one up on the big screen for the replay, but I kind of would like to see that.
1st and 10 Mountaineers from their own 20-yard line. They hand it up the middle, going nowhere. And Sizer in there just swallows up Leyva for a loss of about 3 back to the 17-yard line.
Sizer, 2nd down and about 12.
I've been impressed with the defensive line play so far, Western State. Big and physical, doing what they want up front. But I've also been impressed with Csu-Pueblo's defensive line.
2nd down and 13 for the Mountaineers. From their own 17-yard line. They spread the formation a bit here. 2 wideouts to each side. Bring a man in motion. And they look right. Here comes pressure and sacked.
Sacked by number 5, Cole Bergman.
And back at the 12-yard line.
I think they gave that.
That's not Cole Forsgren, ladies and gentlemen.
That was Deion Sizer.
Oh, now it's going to be 3rd down and 18 for the Mountaineers. The freshman Dylan Jacob in at quarterback. Double wide out each side here on 3rd and 18. And they're going to run the draw play up the middle, and not much for Leyva. Continues to push the pile a bit. Gets it out across the 15 to the 16-yard line, but that was more or less just a give-up play. Punt the ball away. So it'll be 4th down and 14 now for the Mountaineers.
4th down.
Both defenses playing inspired right now. We like this.
Punt for the Thunderbolts, number 18, Brandon O'Donnell.
So O'Donnell now will return this punt for the Thunderbolts. He stands at his own 45-yard line.
Now, Brandon O'Donnell out of Valor Christian. We see Csu-Pueblo don't get many kids out of Valor. Those who want to keep playing usually play at the Division I level out of that program.
Garrett Boyd to punt it away. Good snap. It's the kick away. Shanked it.
Yep.
And it comes dead right. Hits it midfield and takes a forward bounce, but it runs out of real estate. Thunderbolts again are going to set up right around midfield here. And it will be indeed right at midfield, where the Thunderbolts take over on offense. No score here in the first quarter. 1:03 to go.
I'd like to see the offensive line making a couple adjustments, Jim. See if they could break Marche Denard or Austin Michi. They're getting beat up front is what's happening.
Well, they're going to go double tight end here, and they bunch up on the right. O'Malley's actually in there as well. Now O'Malley comes in motion to the left side to balance out the formation. Only one wide receiver in this set. They draw him offside. Flag comes down. Denard up the middle. Breaks a tackle. He's across the 45 down to about the 42. So it'll be either 2nd down and 2 or 1st and 5.
I'm guessing.
I think you take the yardage here and make it 2nd and 2. I think that's what John did last week, right?
Yeah, but they had more success offensively last week. They're going to decline it.
Offside, number 55.
So 2nd and 2 for the Thunderwolves. They're going to go to the pistol this time. Now they're going to go to the gun as Denard gets onto the right hip. Smith comes in motion. Fake the jet sweep. Run option this side. Pass it toward the end zone. Just thrown up for grabs. In the back of the end zone, incomplete. Trying to get it to O'Shea Washington.
Oh, Jim, that was as good a ball as Rex Dowson could throw. Right on his fingertips.
kind of a different looking play that time. They fake the jet sweep to Smith, and he's more or less the protector of Dowson as he rolls to the right. Then he has the run option. He could flip the pass to Smith, or he decided to wing it long.
Well, he could have run for the first down, but that wasn't a move to change play. That was on the fingertips. That ball was 6 inches from being perfect.
Up under center this time. Dowson here on 3rd and 2. Give it to Denard, right side, puts his head down, bowls forward. He's right at the 40. Should be a first down. Linesman comes in, puts his foot right on the 40. That means it's going to be 1st and 10 Thunderbolts. They've already signaled to move the chains. We're down to 30 seconds to go here in this first quarter. No score.
Him taking that shot on 2nd down that's showing confidence in your offense to come back and say, we'll get the 3 and move the chains if we have to, but let's take that shot right now.
Thunderbolts do have to run a play as the play clock is down to 13. We got 16 on the clock for the quarter. Dowson up under center this time. Wide out to each side. Johnson to the left, Smith to the right. Eckhoff goes in motion to the right
play
side.
Play clock's
resets.
Down to 2.
They get the play off barely. Play action. Dowson sets. He's going deep down the middle. He's got Smith open, and he's got a touchdown! Josh Smith, his 6th touchdown grab of the year, and Dowson right on the money. Dropped it right in the bucket.
That's as pretty as you're going to see from Csu-Pueblo. Great throw, great route, great catch.
The Thunderbolts strike from 40 yards out on the final play of the first quarter.
After attempt number 29, Carter.
And Carter in to try to add the extra point. 42 of 42 on the year. Good snap. Ball's down. They get through there and blocked it. They got great penetration right up the middle. The nose guard got through there and blocked it.
It jinxed him.
That ends the first quarter. Thunderbolts on top 6-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Six to nothing Thunderwolves on the 40-yard strike to Josh Smith.
Back to receive the kickoff, number 30.
Dowson's 7th touchdown pass of the year, and for Josh Smith, it was his 6th touchdown grab of the year.
Security Service Investment Group.
Carter's kick going to be handled at the 3-yard line. Out across the 10, 15, 20, 23-yard line. The ball came out, but it was after the man was on the ground, so the ground cannot cause the fumble. Pretty good play there on special teams for the Thunderbolts. Looked like Anthony Barron, a redshirt freshman out of Greenwood Village.
And Dylan Albrandt came up with the ball. He tried to sell it. He said, look, I have it, but whistle had already blown.
Well, Mitchell Carter's extra point streak stopped, but it wasn't his fault. He just got great penetration. The nose guard just knifed his way right in there.
That's playing hard on every play. Those should be automatic. And if you lax there, that means you're not playing hard on every play.
Ball at the 22-yard line for Western State. Bring a man in motion to the left side. They go back to this Wildcat formation to Zach Griggs, and this time the Thunderbolts are ready for him. He busted out that, what was that, about a 65-yard run on that first time he attempted that in the game. This time, no gain.
Second down and 10.
So suddenly his average is down to 32.5, Joe.
Yeah, he's no good.
Took a big hit.
Television news on KRDO News.
What I liked on that play was he got caught from behind by several. Not the offensive juggernaut of stats in the first quarter.
And here's the option play to the left side, and Thunderbolts have it read beautifully. Is going nowhere. Rodray Perkins out of Mesquite, Texas. He came in motion. It's kind of a variation of the jet sweep. He came in motion from the right side, and then he came around the backside, and they pitched it to him.
Well, they worked on the option a little bit this week in defense and in practice for Csu-Pueblo, and that was, you almost wish they ran the option because they snuffed that out.
Loss of a yard. It's 3rd and 11 now for the Mountaineers here. 6-0 Pack on top. 13:50 to go in the first half. Jacob from the gun. He has double wide out right, single wide out left. Takes the snap, straight drop back, looks left, fires it up the sideline. A lot of hand fighting going on up the sideline, incomplete. Good
Emery
coverage
Taylor.
there. As Emery was right there, stride for stride. with Markeith McDonald.
No, they didn't call it. And Emory Taylor, if he'd have just turned his head back a little bit, might have. They didn't call pass interference there, but they could have a little bit of a hold. But if they don't call it, it's not a penalty. I asked Emory Taylor, I said, E.T., you got a nickname? He said, yeah, it's E.T. I said, well, there you go. Don't be alien tonight.
4th and 11.
He had a pick 6 last week that was a thing of beauty.
Good snap. Kick is away. Taken at the 41-yard line and going nowhere for the Thunderbolts, Brandon O'Donnell.
Number 42.
Did well to sprint over to the sideline to grab it to save the field position, but the coverage was there. So the Thunderbolts will start this possession. Still a good field position from their own 42-yard line. Field position hasn't been the problem in this first half of the Thunderbolts.
It's the lack of running game that's been a problem. And you would think with all these big throws, these big completions from Dowson that it would loosen it up a little bit. That looks like Brandon Edwards. Now in a quarterback.
And indeed it is. First action since being hurt up in Rapid City at South Dakota Mines. And they run it to Denard off the right side. Breaks one tackle. Breaks another tackle across midfield. Cuts to the outside. Across the 40. 35, 30. 25, 20. Inside the 15. Down to about the 12-yard line. Marche Denard. Broke that first tackle, Joe, and it was off to the races.
You want to loosen up your running game? That's how you do it. 46 yards.
All the way down to the 13-yard line.
And all 46 were him.
Yeah, because he was hit right at the line of scrimmage. And then made a nice little cut about 2 yards up the field and got to the outside to the edge.
Yards after contact was all Marche Denard. And give Western State credit. They had a guy out of bounds get up and make the play from the backside. He could have easily taken himself out of the play.
Rivers comes in motion to the right side. Run the draw play. Denard up the middle, across the 10, across the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown, Thunderwolves!
That was the parting of the Silver Sea.
Marche Denard, his 13th touchdown of the season. And the Thunderwolves up 12-0.
Now they don't go for 2. They don't chase those points like you like to say.
Yeah, you don't need it at this point.
Point after Mitchell Carter.
Oh, Carter looking to start a new streak right here. Let's see if they block a little better right in the center this time. Ball's down. Better protection this time. Kick is up, and it is good. 12:55 to go in the first half. Thunderwolves lead it 13-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
$12:55 to go here in the first half. Understand, as usual, having a few problems with the live stream broadcast. We're glad to have you here today on Fox Sports Pueblo. Great run there by Marche. That was a Marche drive.
Well, they got blocking up front. They parted the Silver Sea right there.
Kickoff handle at the 5, across the 10, 15, 20, trying to get outside. Big scrum as they come across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Perkins on the return for the Mountaineers.
Dylan O'Brien. And number 45, Kyle Rosenbrock.
Kyle Rosenbrock on the stop. Our special teamer. We love the Rosenbrock family.
Trevor Filio out there on special teams, too. He's a specimen, the redshirt freshman out of Sherry Creek.
You know, he's North Shingo's backup, or else he'd be out there every play.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line for the Mountaineers. Fake it to the right. Now they run it up the middle and going nowhere.
That was a mistake.
Dylan Jacob, the quarterback. He kind of faked the pitch that time to Perkins. Remember, they ran that kind of variation of the jet sweep option earlier, and that time he faked the pitch. Elected to carry it for no gain. Kind of an interesting-looking offense for Western State, but they just don't have the personnel here.
Well, they're young, and you can tell they're young up front. But those guys are going to grow up, so you better be careful.
Second and 10. Double wide out to each side. Thunderbolt show blitz. They all creep up. Now press coverage. Fake it. Pass right side almost intercepted.
Tanner Draper was in press coverage, and he's a safety. You don't want him in press coverage because you can run right by him, but he almost picked that off.
Jumped the route. So it'll be 3rd and 10.
He's a little upset that he's happy that Houston is up in the series, but he thought it was going to be Houston in 4.
Well, let's not get greedy, Tanner.
He forgot Kershaw.
Yeah, exactly.
But Tanner's from Amarillo, Texas, and he's a big Angels fan, but he also likes the Astros.
Hey, I like the Astros. I mean, they're fun. Do you not like those guys?
Yeah, they are. And he thought Astros in 4.
3rd and 10.
Yeah, this wasn't going anywhere.
Timeout taken by the Mountaineers. We'll take one with them. 12:07 to go. Second quarter on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
13-0. Thunderwolves on top. Had a slow start to this ball game, but they got the 40-yard strike to Josh Smith to open the scoring, and then Marche Denard with a big run to set him up, and then he got the touchdown run from 13, was it, Joe? 13?
Yeah, that's why I had him 12.
12, okay. Gonna roll the pocket. Pass ahead, little back shoulder throw incomplete. Timing route all the way that time as Jacob let that ball go way before Bryce Harvey turned. When Harvey turned, the ball was right by his ear hole. So it goes over. Well, they'll have to punt it away now here on 4th and 10 from their own 22-yard line.
Jim, I thought there was no way Penn State could go into Columbus and take on Ohio State as good as Penn State is. It's 21-3 right now. Nittany Lions.
Wow. Good for them.
It's just one of those games today you keep your eye on just because it's kind of fun. And
well, the other big game, I guess, would be Notre Dame and North Carolina State. Here's the punt.
Better punt.
Rivers takes it at the 38, makes the first man miss across the 40 to about the 42-yard line.
Rivers brought down.
So again, great field position for the Thunderwolves. They've started today from the 50 twice, from their own 43, and now from their own 42. They did start the game, I guess, from their own 18 after the return, but since then it's been good.
Brandon Edwards back in at quarterback. Michi now at tailback. See if he can do the same magic of Marche Denard.
Ball's at the 42-yard line for the Thunderwolves. From the pistol. Edwards does have that left knee braced. Eckhoff in motion to the left side, resets. And play action pass. Edwards, here comes pressure, and he's blasted at the 35-yard line. Boy, he need to get rid of that ball. He held it and got blasted off the edge there. A loss of 5 on the play.
Well, we sing his praises because he's a Pueblo guy, but Keith Head let his guy go right by him. That's all on your right tackle right there.
Osadi Sambunu for Western State.
Number 14,
sophomore out of Aurora Gateway. Lowered the Sambunu on him.
Yes, he did.
2nd and 15. Rivers in motion to the left side. Resets. Run the draw play. Michi hit and gets forward for maybe a yard on the play.
Austin Michi, the ball carrier.
So it'll be 3rd down now and 13 for the Thunderwolves.
Number 54, Lane.
So other than a couple of big plays in this game, Western State defense played pretty well. But the 2 big strikes is what's got them behind here, 13-0. 10:45 to go in the first half. Johnson and Washington and Smith all come to the right side this time. Long to the left as they spread the formation from the pistol. Michi the lone back. They're all up on the line of scrimmage. Nobody down in a 3-point stance here. Here they come. Edwards steps up. He's got some room. Now passes over the middle. Ball caught by Washington. He's got the first down inside the 40. Gets down to the turf at the 38-yard line. Edwards showed that he might run with the football there, and it kind of froze the secondary, and then he rifled it ahead to O'Shea.
24 yards on that pass play from the 38 to the 38. That shows Brandon Edwards had a little bit of mobility. We were kind of curious about that. His plant foot, his mechanics, he looked real good on that play. Was able to roll to his right and then kind of throw it back across his body a little bit. O.J. Washington's put together a first-team all-conference kind of season as a receiver, and in a conference full of great receivers.
1st and 10 pack at the 38-yard line of the Mountaineers. And the ball to Michi. Now he's going to try to bounce it outside across the 35, across the 30, and he's hit down at the 29-yard line. Got stood up there and planted. But still a 9-yard gain for Michi.
Sorry, by number 7, David Velasquez.
Velasquez met him at the 29 and picked him up and slammed him to the turf, but still a 9-yard gain.
He's not very big, so
Visit our state-of-the-art.
so it looks worse than it is because but he's thick. You got to understand, he's a thick kid.
Smith to the right. He scored a touchdown earlier in this game.
Oh, he's a single coverage, too.
Eckhoff in motion to the left side, resets. And they're going to give it to Michi. Great penetration. They get him back and outside the 30-yard line, all the way back to the 33-yard line.
Well, that time Alex Mitchell just got bludgeoned up front. Jim, this
blasting through that was Tanner Geiger.
Tanner Geiger's played a heck of a first half.
So it's back at the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 now for the Thunderbolts. Remember, they had 2nd and 1, but they lost 4 on that play. So they go to the pistol. Smith and Washington to the right. It's like Johnson to the left. And movement, or we got delay a game here. Probably could be delay a game. Flag came from the back judge. Yes, it is. Delay a game against the Thunderwolves.
Delay the game.
Well, you have a 9-yard gain on first down, a -4, a delay.
Well, Cecil Harrison is our referee today. Pueblo's own Gary Jordan is the umpire today.
Haven't seen much of Gary this year.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Thunderwolves. Washington and Smith to the right. Looks like Long is to the left this time. Bring Boyd in motion. Resets on the right side. Straight drop back by Edwards. Here comes pressure off the edge. Gets the pass away. Incomplete. Kind of a timing throw up the left side, and timing wasn't there.
Well, and
get it to Long.
Well, that ball was out of bounds. That wasn't going to be caught anyway. Don't think we'll see Mitch Carter here. This pretty long field goal attempt.
Yeah, it'd be a 55, 56-yarder, so they'll go field position, bring Kuda in to punt it away.
They do have a couple of fakes up their sleeves. It'd be a great place for one.
10 yards to get, though. It'd be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
Good snap. Turns the ball on his edge. Pooch kick. He's good at this. Hits inside the 10. Oh, they didn't get... Well, they tried to save it. The man that was down there lost his footing, who was going to stand at the goal line to bat the ball back in. That's unfortunate for Kuda. He did his job. It's just his coverage team botched that one up.
Yeah, you down there and catch that ball. It was so high they could have.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round.
Well, the ball comes out to the 20-yard line.
To me, that's where you either go for it or fake it or do something. You gain nothing. You gain 18 yards in field position is all. And your defense is playing outstanding.
And they give it up the middle and nothing there. Nothing up the middle, and that's because Sizer's there patrolling that middle, and you just can't get around the big guy. The only time they got around him was when they ran that Wildcat play for 65 earlier.
I mean, that was big Michael Riston on that play.
And number 52, Deion Sizer.
Loses a yard.
Got Tipton playing fullback now. Rico Tipton, a sophomore out of Chandler, Arizona. He's a big kid. 2nd and 10.
Where's 13 is tailback.
A little different. And he's going to get another carry up the middle. And again, Sizer just steer wrestling him to the turf. Loss of a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 11. That gives you an idea of the strength of Deion Sizer that time.
They're having a field day, those three up front. Croy, Riston, and Sizer. They're like, finally, somebody's just trying to run straight at us. With no success. One big play because it was a receiver on a Wildcat.
13-0. Thunderbolts on top. 6:40 to go here in the first half.
If you ever seen the longest yard, that was a longest yard tackle.
Yeah, the old arm bar.
Yep.
Double wide out to each side. Ball's on the left hash. Straight drop back. Here comes pressure off the edge. Sangolo got to his feet and got him down.
See who got him. Was it Michael Riston?
They might give a half sack to Riston and Shangolo. I think Shangolo got his ankle to trip him up, and then Riston polished him off. We'll see who they credit with the sack.
-6 on that play. That's a great defensive effort. See, now you should have gone for it or faked it or something. Your defense just plays so outstanding. Gotta have a little gamble in you, don't you, Jim?
Yeah, a little bit. 4th and 17 from the 13-yard line. Low snap, but it's handled. Oh, they came in there and they got to the punter. That's going to be a penalty.
This may
on
be the big one, too.
It's handled at midfield.
It still won't be a first down unless it's an automatic first down. But
yeah, personal foul on the Thunderbolts all the way here, and that's well, we talked about Filio earlier. He comes up gimpy on the play, but they definitely got right in. That's a dangerous play there for the punter. As Boyd took the shot down low, he limps off the field. This definitely will be a 15-yarder. John Risson concerned out on the field, wanting to see what the call is going to be.
Personal foul.
And it is on Filio. So it's an automatic first down on the personal foul, so the Mountaineers will have it out at the 28-yard line. They came flying in there. It blew up the protectors, but they almost like they got flipped over and rolled into him, but they got right in on his plant leg, which is a no-no.
Well, there were so many. The block was on. They went for it.
Oh, 1st and 10 for the Mountaineers from their own 28-yard line. 13-0. Thunderbolts on top. 5:42 to go here in the first half. Straight drop back. They look left. Man is open. It's picked off. Taylor, 10-5, touchdown. The receiver never turned around, and Taylor, he jumped the route, takes it on into the end zone.
His second pick six in as many weeks.
Well, the receiver kind of on a wheel route. I think he was supposed to cut inside. He just kept running up the sideline with his back turned, and that allowed Taylor to jump in there. If the receiver turns and gets between Taylor and the ball, and he's going to catch it, he might still be running.
See, I should have told you they should have punted it.
Ball down, kick is up, and it is good. 5:34 to go here in the first half. Thunderbolts lead it 20-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo. Yeah, just watching the replay again here as the live stream has come back up close to being on time. Rico Tipton that time, he kind of wheeled out and he kept going toward the sideline, kind of looping, had his back turned instead of, I think he was supposed to come in and cut that more up the hash or the numbers.
Definitely a miscommunication, but the beneficiary is E.T. Phone home.
Number 37, Elijah Gilbert.
Kickoff sails to the end zone. They're going to run out of there with it across the 5, 10, 15, 20, and then hit down at about the 22-yard line.
Number 5, Rodray.
That's Rod Ray Perkins on the return.
Stop made by number 17, Jaden Garcia, and number 40, Miles Matthews.
I know they've had a few problems today with the live stream, but looks like we're back in business now. Haven't checked the audio. Hopefully they got us in there, Joe. If not, we know where we're at. That's just a bonus for them.
I got ink in the pen.
That's right.
And my stuff comes out tomorrow. We're online as soon as I'm done writing it. So chieftain.com or
we're on
subscribe.
And we're on our iHeartRadio connection.
iHeartRadio. It's there if you want it. And I'm on Twitter all during the game. So all you got to do is follow me.
Here's the Griggs on the Wildcat formation again.
You know, that's the fool me once play.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get your 65-yard one time. Yeah, that's going to be it.
The average continues to plummet. He gains 2 this time, so he's gotten 65, 0, and 2.
Share your pictures, comments, and
so the average is quickly down to 22.3.
Csu-Pueblo Athletics on Facebook.
That's that great Pueblo City Schools math education.
It was a great stock when it opened.
It's plummeting.
But once it opened, you should have sold. 2nd and 8 for the Mountaineers. Down 20-0 here. 4:50 to go in the first half. Tipton reshifts to the right side of the formation this time. They bring a man in motion. Reset. Follow play, and this is again Griggs off the right side, and Draper has got him down at about the 28-yard line. Zach Griggs, he's a senior out of Grand Junction, went to Fruita Monument High School.
So he grew up on the Western Slope and stayed on the Western Slope. Fruita's pretty good this year.
Yeah, they are.
Coldest game I ever saw was Pueblo South at Fruita. Oh,
I remember listening to that one.
It was icing. The great Lee Douglas, he came over in the big van. I couldn't believe the TV truck. Channel 5.
3rd and 5 for the Mountaineers. Comes pressure out the edge, and they've got him. They whack him down.
Darius Williams.
Darius on the corner blitz that time, and they rolled it right into his wheelhouse. And Dilla Jacob took it right on the chops. Back at the 22-yard line.
And that will go as a sack because he lost 1. But it looked better than that.
So 4th and 11 now for the Mountaineers.
Oh, excuse me. He lost more than 1.
Also 6. Wasn't
it? Yeah. I just got my hash marks mixed up. Happens. Routinely.
Punt formation.
Away. The block was not on that time.
And chance for the return, and then going down quickly. As O'Donnell caught it. He was lucky to grab it.
I think he called for a fair catch.
Because he got tangled up with the gunner that was coming down, and the blocker went right by him, kind of close to him when he made the grab. So
looking for a flag, but I don't see one. They're all whistling like there's something. I guess not.
Well, I think it's almost like the guy was, when you're engaged on a block, it's hard to call you for fair catch interference, I guess.
The winner gets a gift card to Texas Roadhouse. Show off those costumes right now to our video board.
And Joe, again, I jinxed the old live stream. I'm looking at it here. It says went offline. Oh, well. I got news for you people that are, well, you can't hear me now, of course, on the live stream, but just keep your iHeartRadio window open if you're watching on the computer today. Then you got to try to sync them up. Up under center this time. Edwards gives it to Denard and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. It'll be 2nd down now and 10 for the Thunderbolts. They lead at 20-0. 3:05 to go here in the first half.
47, Todd Ford. 2nd down.
It's kind of a strange first half. Neither team could do anything offensively, and then all of a sudden the floodgates open a little bit and things loosen up. Csu-Pueblo's defense for the 2nd straight week is playing outstanding.
2nd down. They did give Denard a yard there. 2nd and 9. That was moving all. The ball comes loose and it goes right into the. Well, now they blow it dead. I was going to say there was all screwed up. All the linemen were moving. The ball wasn't snapped on time. That tells you the center forgot the snap count.
Well, they called it on Willie Hayes the third, and then he got the ball and he took off like he was going to run with it.
Willie's got to be saying, well, I wasn't the only one moving. Why didn't you pick me out? Because he ended up with a football. He was easy, but the ball wasn't snapped on time. The entire line and the whole offense moved, and then the ball was snapped.
You know, I think the band's over there in the corner just playing. I don't even think they know that there's a game going on.
Yeah, you shouldn't be playing when your offense has the football. Straight drop back.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's a good thing.
Pressure on Edwards, and he'll be sacked. So all the way back to the 26-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down now for the Thunderbolts. 3rd and 20.
Jim, this is the strangest thing I've ever seen, is the band practicing for its halftime show
in the end zone.
In the end zone.
Underneath the scoreboard.
With 1:45 to go, and your team has the ball.
We need a little coordination.
Or somebody to go tell them, hey, yo,
shut the hell up, right?
You know, enough.
3rd and 20. Edwards straight. Oh, he gets hit, gets the pass away, and it's almost intercepted. Boy, Edwards, that's when you got people flying and you already got that knee issue.
But you want to see how he took it? You know what? He got pummeled.
Yep.
He threw the ball 50 yards on the line, and he's jogging off unscathed.
Tell you what, this defensive line for Western State, they're pretty good. Either that or the offense is sleepwalking today.
I think a combination of both. I think it's about getting off the ball, and they're not getting off the ball at all.
Okuda to punt the ball away. Gets it away. Doesn't turn over. And, a diving grab. Great play, I guess, in retrospect here by Rodray Perkins, but that was almost kamikaze-like there.
If he doesn't come up with that, there were 3 red shirts around the ball.
Then you got to be worried about somebody just drilling you when you're off balance. So Western State takes over at their own 42-yard line here, trailing at 20-0. 1:17 to go in the first half.
Wonder if we'll hear the voice of the voice of the band.
The band guy, he is something else, isn't he?
They just make fun, but it is kind of funny.
Well, we're impressionists by nature. You only do impressions of things that are unusual.
Got that right.
1st and 10 at the 42. Perkins coming in motion. Now straight drop back. Here comes pressure. Get the pass down the middle. That's going to be interference. I think the Thunderbolts. Nope, ball almost intercepted. I guess it's just incidental contact because the defender and the receiver got their feet tangled up.
You could go either way. You can go no call on that, or if they'd have called Csu-Pueblo for pass interference, I'd have been okay with that because he had him beat. If they're running stride for stride, but the receiver had the defender beat, and to me, that's when you can.
It wasn't like they were running side by side.
That's when you can make that call. Now look at this Wildcat with Rico Tipton now at quarterback.
And now Griggs is coming over after getting the call. He was over there on the hash marks. Now he comes back in.
And Dylan Jacob is now at wide out as well.
Now they do a lot of. That's got to be illegal. Nope, they do reset in time. Hand off to Griggs, not direct snap right up the middle.
I think they're just trying to get out of the half, no?
They were very close to not being set for the full second that time. He had a lot of moving parts on that play. Under a minute to go now. 3rd down and 6 for the Mountaineers here, and they're in no hurry whatsoever. Perplexing why they're not. If all you're trying to do is just to keep the score somewhat close, then you're going to run out the clock here. But if you're trying to be competitive and winning the game, you got to get up there and run a couple plays here.
Well, play clock's down to 3.
They do get it off in time, and then they just hand it off up the middle, and it's a give-up play.
John Rista called timeout.
Yeah, no, the Thunderbolts didn't have a chance to maybe block a kick here. So 21 seconds to go in the first half.
Csu-Pueblo, first charge time and a half.
Thunderbolts up 20-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo. 20-0, Thunderbolts on top. That was perplexing by Western State there.
I'm not sure they realized how much time was left. There's 21 seconds. At least Csu-Pueblo can go for the block now.
They've returned a punt to the end zone this year, and that's Brandon O'Donnell, who's done the trick. He's back at the 15-yard line.
Back to receive the punt, number 18, Brandon O'Donnell.
Good snap.
But they don't go for the block.
Angle it toward the sideline. Fair catch late taken by O'Donnell, and that was, even the referee didn't want to give him the fair catch there because he just brought his hand up real late. And the referee's telling him right now, hey, you got to give me a better fair catch.
Yeah, that was like swatting a fly away real quick. It's like, get away.
It's the old Australian salute, Joe. That's what they call that.
But now, do you take a shot, or do you just call it good?
I think you run it one time and be done with it here.
You're up 20.
Smith to the right. Washington in the slot to the right. Johnson to the left here. 14 seconds to go. Bring a man in motion. Now resetting.
And you're right.
Going to hand it to the right side to Michi, and he goes down after no gain on the play. That'll be the final play here of the first half. 20-0. Thunderbolts on top. Back with our halftime show right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Thunderbowl. Thunderbolts lead at 20-0 here at halftime. Here's how the Thunderbolts got to the lead. It was a struggle all first quarter long. Offense not doing much, but finally picked up a first down and got it to the 40-yard line of Western State. And Rex Dowson dropped back to pass, and he dropped one right in the bucket as he hit Josh Smith at the goal line on the bomb. The extra point was blocked. It was 6-0 Thunderbolts. That was the last play of the first quarter. Thunderbolts then came back on their next possession. Marche Denard ripped off a 45-yard run to get the Thunderbolts down to the 13-yard line. On second down, he took it in from 13 yards out. So a two-play, 58-yard drive. The extra point was good. It was 13-0 Pack at that point. Then the defense got on the board as Emery Taylor hauled one in. Took it in from 25 yards out. Extra point by Carter was good. 5:34 to go in the first half. Thunderbolts led it 20-0, and that's where we are right now. Being entertained by the Thunderbolts marching band. We'll come back. We'll have the numbers for you right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Thunderbolts on top here at halftime, and I'm just kind of perusing around here. Of course, I get text messages and direct messenger messages wondering about the audio issue with the live stream for Csu-Pueblo. Hey, it's out of Joe and my hand. We're just here. We're doing our thing. We're working fine. Our stuff works. We can't help it if their stuff don't work. So don't yell at us. That's all I can say. But in the meantime, open up a iHeart window whenever this happens to you again. Now, of course, you got to worry about getting them synced up and all those problems. But, hey, we're working just fine here on our end. 20-0, Thunderbolts on top at halftime. Here are the first half numbers. Thunderbolts with 62 yards rushing, 142 through the air, 204 yards in total offense. Western State 52 on the ground, 7 through the air, 59 yards total offense. Thunderbolts had 15:32 time of possession, 14:28 for Western State. Thunderbolts were 3 of 7 on third down. Western State only 1 of 8 on third down. Individual numbers, Marche Denard 8 carries for 74 yards. Michi 5 for 7. Griggs 5 for 73. Remember, he had 65 of those on 1 carry. Tipton 2 for -1. Leba 6 for -2. Jacob 5 for -18. You got to factor in during the sack yardage on 3 sacks. Dowson 6 of 8, 1 touchdown, 119 yards. Edwards 1 of 3, 23 yards. Jacob was 3 of 10, had 2 picked, 7 yards passing in the first half. Smith 2 for 45 in the touchdown. Johnson 1 for 54. Washington 1 for 23. Ribberich 1 for 13. They shortchanged Ribberich. He had 2 catches in the first half. They missed one there somewhere. Manchester 1 for 10. Perkins 1 for -1. Harvey 1 for -2. Defensive numbers, Sizer, great first half, 7 tackles. Payer was 6. So O'Donnell and Rosenbrock with 3 apiece. Ferris had 5. Jones, Zavala, and Nolan with 3 apiece for Western State. Halftime, Thunderbolts on top, 20-0. Back with scores from around the country right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Welcome back to the Thunderbowl. Thunderbolts on top 20-0 here at halftime. Take a tour around the RMAC, see what's going on right now. Mines has defeated Chadron State 27-15. That's Colorado Mines, of course. Wild one down in Durango today. Fort Lewis knocks off South Dakota Mines 44-35. Mesa in the third quarter Highlands has 7. Mesa has a 7, but they have a 0 after it. It's 70-7 in the third quarter. Dixie State in the fourth quarter leads Adams State 34-21. Other games of note today for Thunderwolves fans. Number 3 ranked team in the country, Minnesota State, taking on Winona State. Winona State, one of those teams Thunderwolves could lose a couple games would be nice, but Minnesota State leading Winona State 27-6. It is a final now there. Sioux Falls has defeated Augustana 21-14. And I'm trying to peruse through here and see the scores that matter to Thunderwolves fans with the Super Region 4 category. Number 1 ranked team in the country, Northwest Missouri. They have been on the ropes many times this year, and they're on the ropes again today. They're down 17-10 to Pittsburgh State in the third quarter. Azusa Pacific and Central Washington tied at 10 in the second quarter. Humboldt State, one of the teams that Thunderwolves could use to lose a game. Well, they're not going to lose today. They're up 40-0 in the second quarter over Simon Fraser. And that's what I've got for you right now as I peruse through here, just trying to see the scores that matter to the Thunder. We'll have a better wrap-up at the end of the day as far as those scores are concerned. On the big side of the house today, Penn State, it has gone halftime. They lead Ohio State 28-17. Late first half score, Michigan State, it's going to go to halftime. They're with Northwestern tied at 10 apiece. Notre Dame leads North Carolina State 21-14. That is 2:30 to go in the first half there. Looks like Notre Dame ready to punt. South Florida leads Houston 7-0. Central Florida leads Austin Peay 7-0. Halftime, Georgia leads Florida 21-0. Rumors are they're going to try to buy out the contract of Florida head coach Jim McElwain. Iowa State up on TCU 14-0 at halftime. Iowa State, they just continue to win big games. How did they lose 2 games this year? That's the question. They're on top of number 4 TCU right now, 14-0. Number 12 Washington leads UCLA at the half, 20-9. Miami of Florida holds on to defeat North Carolina 24-19. Oklahoma State defeats West Virginia in a wild one, 50-39. Wisconsin, they win over Illinois 24-10. Duke of Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Washington State at Arizona, USC at Arizona State later this evening. Last night, Memphis defeated Tulane 56-26. Thursday night, Oregon State lost it late to number 20 Stanford. Stanford, perhaps a little overrated. 20th ranked team in the country. When you got to struggle to beat Oregon State, it says you got problems. 15-14 was the final there. Back with our second half right after this. Here, the Thunderwolves lead at 20-0 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Neta and Eddie DeRose Thunderbowl. Thunderbolts on top 20-0 here at halftime. Joe, kind of a strange first quarter. Thunderbolts had to struggle, but they got the big bomb play to Smith. Then got a nice run by Denard, kind of righted the ship, but all in all, it hasn't been that impressive today for the Thunderbolts on offense.
Western State makes you play ugly, and they always have. They've done it for 9 years against Csu-Pueblo. And if you go back and you look at history, they do make Csu-Pueblo play ugly. And like I said before, Western State's defensive coordinator, Todd Auer, is a very good defensive coordinator. He's the kind of guy that could be on this Csu-Pueblo staff. That's how good he is. And so it doesn't surprise me that Western is playing a little bit better defensively. Csu-Pueblo's offense, though, got a little bit going. A great pass from Rex to Josh Smith, and then Marche got a little bit of the running game. I think at this point, they're taking 3-0 wins.
Right. Thunderbolts to kick off to start the second half. Kick sails to about the 5-yard line. It'll be returned across the 10, 15, 20. A little something working here, but then taken down.
But I say you cannot run wide against Csu-Pueblo. You just can't. They're too good from side to side.
That was Elijah Gilbert on the return, a product of Mesa Ridge.
Victor Bank, Colorado is proud to
There in
support
wide
the
field.
and excitement of Thunderbowl football. Thank you for your attendance at today's.
Get down to the prep season, aren't we?
Yes,
Get down to see. We got us a good one this Thursday.
Yeah, Ponderosa and
We got South. We're playing host to Ponderosa. That's going to go a long way into. I think that's going to show us how good South is.
Right.
I think if anything. East 0-5. Now 4-5.
Right. Well, they're going to go to the Wildcat with Griggs. This has been the only play that's worked in this game so far. He fakes left, now comes back right, puts his head down, maybe a yard.
Number 4, Zach Griggs, the ball carrier.
The one big run he had in this game is when he just surprised the Thunderbolts. He took it, and I mean, it was like a beeline, like he was shot out of a cannon right up the middle of the field, and the Thunderbolts had nobody in the middle of the field.
They caught him off by surprise, and that's what that does. You see it come up one time, and he went right through the middle. They didn't have anybody in the middle.
Per gallon on gas, use your rewards.
But that only happened once.
Right.
On purchases inside the store and at King Soopers.
Game him 2 on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 8 right at the 20-yard line. Back to Dylan Jacob at quarterback here. He gives it up the middle, and not much there for Ty Leyva. Leyva, a redshirt freshman out of Rifle, Colorado.
Saw made on the play by number 35, Quinn Bendicle.
What I like about that play, Jim, is the corners and the linebackers were reading the quarterback, and as soon as he handed the ball off, they all crashed. They're flying to the ball like John Riston likes to see. That's that old Hunter Hughes trait, that 11 guys to the ball. Mark Kreiner carried that over into this year. Don Eliamidi, fly to that football.
3rd and 6 here for the Mountaineers. Trips to the right. Low snap, but it's handled. Here comes pressure out the edge, and they've got him. Came with the corner blitz.
Csu-Pueblo bookstore sack.
Fresh face. Was that Jaden Garcia coming in off the edge? Could that be right? It was for the Thunderbolts. So they're starting to sprinkle some new talent. The redshirt freshman came in on the corner blitz off the edge that time, and he got the half credit for the sack at least.
Back to receive the punt, number 6.
I think Croy was the other guy. I'm not sure who the other defensive back was.
Good snap. Kick is away.
Another poor kick.
Doesn't turn.
You just don't want it to get hit. You don't want it to hit you.
Hits at the 50. Kind of rolls now, backs up right back to the 50.
Ball down at the 50.
Mason Bodie was down there to down it. He was hoping it would go forward, and it kind of went forward 1 yard and came right back at him. He quickly scooped it up. So again, the Thunderbolts
for excellent service and some of the
started many drives right on this spot on the field. This is the 3rd time they've started a drive from the 50.
You can check balances.
They just went to the mercy rule, or a variation of the mercy rule at Mesa. They're going to play 10-minute quarters in the second half instead of 15.
Wow.
Because I believe it's 77-7.
Dowson now back in at quarterback.
I've never seen that before.
Well, Dowson back in to play quarterback for the Thunderbolts. Play action, sets, fires, caught, first down inside the 40. That's Ribberich. He's down to the 37-yard line.
Tim, that ball was on a string.
On Kevin Ribberich, he is just kind of remarkable that a guy that size is out there, but
he's tough, and he's a good football player. This is Division II, so you can't really talk about size. But he's a good football player.
Well, the old Wes Welker football life was on NFL Network last night, so it's kind of the guy that's made it popular. Here's Johnson on the grab, tries to break free, gets across the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. But that's the old joke. Say, well, everybody, he's kind of Welker-like. And finally, Bill O'Brien, part of the interview, said, you know what? They can all say that, but there's only one.
But he opened the door, and he opened the eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I think people don't understand is that he probably said, okay, you're undersized, but you're fast and you're tough and you got great hands. There's still a place for you in the league.
And this tells you what a mark you had on football when you have that moniker. Well, he's Welker-like. 2nd down. And that's moving on the right side. False start on Amon Johnson. We thought he got caught earlier in the game, and this time for sure he got caught on the right.
Well, so did Rex. See, they gave it to Rex. Okay. He kind of he took that one step back. I bet that was going to be a quick hitter to Johnson. That's why I think he was looking right at him.
So it's back to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Thunderwolves. 20-0, back on top. 11:25 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll be on the road the next 2 weeks. We'll be in Utah next week. Take on Dixie. And then close out the regular season in Chadron 2 weeks from today. Out pattern left side broken up. Tried to get it to Amon Johnson. Good play by the cornerback that time, Mason Bodie. The Thunderbolts had to punt the ball away here.
Well,
they say leaving the offense out.
Well, you still got 3rd down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, they had that motion penalty.
That's right. Beg your pardon.
I still think it's 2-down territory, though. I think you're right on both counts because you're inside the 40, and I don't know that Mitch Carter. This wind is kind of a stagnant wind. That's I don't want to say it's swirling. It's just it's changed directions about 3 times in the last 10 minutes.
Can't make up its mind. It's indecisive. Eckhoff in motion, resets on the left side. Straight drop back by Dowson. Here comes pressure off the edge. Screen pass right side to Denard. Bobbles it and finally drops it.
That was probably the best.
Now they're saying it's a live ball. No way that could be a live ball.
Pass.
And running it on into the end zone. They're going to say this is the touchdown for Western State. He never controlled the football.
That was, unless it never hit the ground, but it was an incomplete pass.
Now the officials are going to have to chat this one over. There's still... Everybody in the house knows. Everybody looking at the replay board now, knowing it. He never had the football.
Unless
they're going to say it's a return for a touchdown for Western State.
Well, they're not going to. They're going to talk each other into it. Is what they're doing. No, they're going to give it to him, Jim. I don't believe this was an incomplete pass unless it never hit the ground. Show the replay.
And they haven't put it up on the board yet here. They're having all kinds of issues with that.
Touchdown.
Backwards pass, did he say?
Oh, that's a terrible call both ways. Show the replay.
Ball down, kick is up, and is good. So Western State on the board here. 10:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. Thunderbolts lead cut to 20-7 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Well, they finally got it in gear, and they put the replay up on the board, and it was brutal. That was one of the worst calls ever in the Army. That's saying something, some of the calls we've seen through the years, but that was just god-awful.
I just don't understand how that many guys... I mean, he was out in the flat, but he was well in front of the pass, and then he never had it. But they sold it on the Western State sideline. I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
Give them credit for that. They sold it.
Oh, my goodness.
Gene Bauman, expect a call or an email later tonight, early tomorrow, both.
So it's 20-7. We suddenly got ourselves a ball game here. Here's the kick. Into the end zone. They're going to run out of there with it. That might be a mistake because they hesitate and blast it down at the 10-yard line. That's what you don't want, Joe. You don't want to hesitate when you're going to take it out of the end zone.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Sophomore Brandon O'Donnell did that time.
Well, one guy's telling you to stay in. The other guy's saying, let's go. And the guy that said, let's go, is the guy with the ball. Rex still in a quarterback.
So Thunderbolts now only ahead by 13 with 10:48 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Smith in motion to the right side, resets. Dowson up under center here. Long count, straight drop back. He's under pressure. Pump fake, pump fake. Now he's sending his man deep. Now just throws it away along the sideline, but they might have got a grab. It is a catch. Unbelievable. Amon Johnson somehow snares that out across the 30 at the 33-yard line. Looked like Dowson was just trying to get rid of it or throw it away, but Johnson wasn't giving up.
Is that a makeup call?
Could be.
They got several. If that's the case, they better get on it. They got several to come up with.
1st and 10 Thunderwolves out at the 32-yard line. And they run the draw play to Denard. And he's hit down after a gain of about 2 on the play. Western State's interior line Played a pretty good game today. That was Quincy Campbell on the stop there with some help. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Thunderbolts from the 35-yard line. 2nd and 7, rather, make it as they gain 3 on that play.
We know that early detection saves lives. Schedule your 3D mammogram today and let the team of experts at St. Mary Corwin's Breast Center of Excellence care for you.
I still can't believe they called that a touchdown.
Yeah, that's perplexing.
Y'all that have the live feed can run that back as many times as you want.
Well, they could if the live feed was working.
But it's not?
It's not up right now, if I can see. They've had issues all day.
Because that was bad.
2nd and 7 for the Thunderbolts from the 35-yard line. Smith in motion to the right side. They look left, fire left. Johnson makes the first man miss. Up the sideline, across the 40. He's got the first down. Up to around the 44-yard lines where they're going to spot it down. Just that quick little hitch. Got to make the wide receiver. He's got to make the cornerback miss to make some yardage, and that's what Amon did that time.
One guy. You got to be one guy.
So 1st and 10 Thunderbolts lead the game 20-7. 9:20 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dowson up under center. Forsgren into the game. He'll go wide to the right. Now reset in the slot to the right. Now comes back to the left. He's doing a lot of running on this play. Straight drop back. They give it to Denard on the draw play. Puts his head down across midfield, down to about the 47-yard line. That was kind of a pedestrian 9-yard run that time by Marche Denard. Good push on the offensive line on the left side that time.
Again, I'm not a finesse runner, Jim.
Exactly.
Your home team internet and phone.
Try and pay a guy a compliment.
Fastest internet speeds and crystal clear phone service in Southern Colorado.
He is so strong.
They say his knee hit at the 48, so gain of 8, 2nd down and 2 for the Thunderbolts. Long in the game, splits wide to the right, Forsgren to the left. Denard alone back. Dowson up under center. Long count here, trying to draw him off. Western shows blitz. They run the draw play to Denard. He's got an opening across the 45-40 to the sideline, inside the 30, down to 25 to the 20-yard line. And Marche, just looking by his body language, comes up a little gimpy here. He's not up yet. Now he gets up, but he's going to come out of the ball game.
He's all right.
Training staff quickly gets with him here. Could be anything here. Could have got poked in the eye. He's walking all right. So it's 1st and 10 Thunderbolts at the 21-yard line. Beachy in the game. He takes the handoff off the left side. Nice cut across the 20 down to about the 18-yard line. A helmet came flying off of one of the Western State defenders, one of the big linemen who made the stop on the play. That was Jacob Venegas, a junior out of Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Western State doing a good job of taking away the cutback that is so successful usually for Csu-Pueblo's offensive ground game.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Ball on the left hash, wide out to each side. Again to Michi on the left side, cuts it to the outside. Now cuts back inside, breaks a tackle inside the 15 down to about the 13. It'll be 3rd down now and 2 after a gain of 4.
Going with the heavy package now, Preston Guerra. Well, he was, and he's in. Zach Boyd coming out. Zach Boyd's got that bad shoulder. It's just perpetual. Let's put it this way. You can't do anything about it until the season's over.
Yeah. 3rd and 2 for the Pack. They lead at 20-7. 7:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Guerra into the game. Resets on the left side. Straight drop back. Set up the screen left side. They're trying to go to Meach, and they threw it away. So now Thunderbolts, you probably send the field goal unit out, I'd imagine, here.
Pass intended for number 28, Austin Michi.
And indeed it will be. So on 3rd and 2, they decided to try kind of a wheel route that time to Michi, but he was covered.
Double covered, actually. The guy went with him, and then the safety came up.
And wise decision by Dowson. He saw it. He didn't try to force it in there. He just threw it out of bounds. So Carter to try the field goal. He's 7 for 8 on the year. His first miss came last week. This will be a 30-yard attempt.
Well, 30-yard attempt. Not much wind.
Ball's on the left hash. So they've got to angle it a little bit. Kick is up. And it is good. 6:55 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Thunderbolts on the board again. They lead it 23-7. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
23-7, Thunderwolves on top following the 30-yard field goal by Mitchell Carter.
Mike Saladino from Security Service Investment Group.
He's ready to kick it off. He's into it. Driving kick. He's going to get this into the end zone, out the back of the end zone. Boy, he got a good leg into that one.
Just needs a little adrenaline.
Yeah, make a field goal and boom it. So 23-7 here with 6:55 to go in the third quarter.
Since 1994.
Western State has struck on the phantom touchdown here in this half. Oh, there's nothing phantom about it when they put it up on the board, I guess. But
yeah,
they ruled that it was a backwards pass, so a fumble return is what I think is what I saw here. Double wide out right, single wide out left, long count here. Now they're going to hand it up the middle. And not much.
Number 25.
Ty Leba, the redshirt freshman out of Rifle. Gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for the Mountaineers. Bring a man in motion, resetting on the left side. Play action, rolling right. Here comes pressure. Croy was in there. Incomplete. Picked up, taken on into the end zone. Why not? Touchdown. Oh, now they're going to signal this one incomplete. I thought maybe that's the way the rules were going to be today.
Yeah, it's just pick it up whenever you want to find it and just go.
If the ball hits the turf, pick it up and run it into the end zone. You never know. The guys in stripes might give you a touchdown. That was kind of funny.
Well, the referee should have seen that.
Yeah, he
should have seen the last one. He just let it go. Just let it play. Maybe he doesn't have a whistle today.
You can hear some of the jockeys in the stands just all over zebras. 3rd down and 7. And now timeout taken by the Thunderwolves defense. They didn't have the right personnel package out there, looks like. So timeout on the field. 23-7, Thunderwolves on top on Fox Sports Pueblo. 23-7, Thunderwolves on top. 3rd down and 7 upcoming here for the Mountaineers. Double wide out right, single wide out left. Jacob, long count here. Takes a snap, straight drop back. Comes pressure, gets the pass away. Throwback throw on the left side or back shoulder throw. Looks like they got the first down right at the 35-yard line.
Pretty generous with that spot since he had to come back for it.
Number 81, Marquise McDonald.
McDonald definitely ended up on the turf inside the 35, but the officials ruled that his forward progress when he caught it before he was driven backwards, it was right at the line to make.
But see, he came back on his own. See, that's what I don't get.
Yeah.
When I can see forward progress when somebody stops.
Yeah, when somebody's pushing you back.
But when you come back on your own, you lose it on your own merit.
Quarterback draw. And maybe a yard on the play.
Number 8, Dylan Jacobs, the ball carrier. Saw me by number 52, Deion Sizer.
Sizer's just dominating.
He's having one of those games.
The line today for the Thunderwolves.
Stop by for their award-winning Saturday and Sunday brunch and catch all the NCAA and NFL.
Give him 2. Go out to the 37.
Shamrock Brewing, 108 West 3rd Street, Pueblo.
2nd down and 8. So sometimes I wonder what they see. I just don't get it sometimes.
They gave a touchdown. It wasn't even close.
2nd and 8. And off up the middle and nowhere.
Meet Brandon Pear.
He got hit at the 36. They'll probably mark it out at about the 39.
Brandon Pear, inside linebacker. Nice to meet you.
They are. They're going to give him the 37, so that's still it's generous. No gain, 3rd and 8. Chicago comes out of the ball game. Jackson Whipple's into the game for the Thunderbolts.
This could be a pick 6, Jim. Just the way the guys are set up and the way the coverages are.
Well, they're getting nothing in the passing game today. Great drop back. Pass left side, picked off. Cross midfield, hurdling, it's Taylor. Across the 40, 35, 30, comes back this way, breaks a tackle, 25, and he's hurdled down at the 26-yard line. He wanted another touchdown, Emory Taylor, frustrated on the play, but Joe, you were close to being so right on the money there.
Jim, I just saw him line up, and I saw the look on the quarterback's face was like, I have no idea where to throw this football.
Taylor with his second interception, and he and Williams just continue to push each other forward, don't they?
It's a little friendly competition. Although Emory's winning today. He's got the pick 6.
That's right.
They are some ball hawks.
Here's Dowson at quarterback. 1st and 10. Quick pick.
Oh, wow, he was uncovered.
And getting forward for maybe about 3 on the play. They covered up in a hurry. Amon Johnson on the grab. But more or less what Dowson does, he just takes the snap, stands up, and fires it out into the flat. This time he went to the right side to Johnson.
Well, there was nobody out. There was no corner or no safety out there. I'm surprised they shut that down for only 3 yards.
So it'll be 2nd down.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, we'll call it 2nd and 6 from the 22. Dowson under center, sends O'Malley in motion, resets, kind of an offset eye look with Michi. They give it to Michi right side, and he's hit down at about the 20-yard line.
28, Austin Michi, the ball carrier.
Lane Ferris, the redshirt freshman out of Falcon, Colorado, on the stop there.
Lane's that leads Western State in tackles this season by a bunch. I mean, it's Lane Ferris and then everybody else. There's a lot of and everybody else is with this Western State team. They're looking for their identity, and it's tough because they're so young. But I'm telling you right now, this 23-7, they got some fight in them.
They do. 3rd down and 3 now for the Thunderbolts, leading at 23-7. 2:50 to go here. Fake the draw play. Dowson under pressure, avoids it. Pass out in the flat. High pass incomplete. Trying to get it to Eckhoff. Eckhoff took a little shot at the end of that there as Marfaizo came in there and
see Mitch Carter again. Always good to get your field goal kicker some work. A little bit longer on this one.
Yeah, it'll be about a 37-yard attempt. This time from the right hash mark. Remember the first one he made was from the left hash. I think a kicker would be more comfortable kicking from the right hash. Ball down. Kick is up.
Much better kick.
And it is good. 2:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Thunderbolts tack on another 3. They lead at 26-7 on Fox Sports Pueblo. to 7. Thunderbolts up by 19. Here's the kick. This one's going to be returned, taken at the 1-yard line. Across 5, 10, 15, 20, up the middle. Look out, breaking tackles. Pretty good return by Rodray Perkins. Now we've got a little scrum after the play. Officials throwing hats and flags. We got all kinds of stuff going on here.
This is where, if you're a special team, you don't want to get thrown out because you'll be
out next week.
Yep, you don't want to get ejected.
There'll be a trunk or treat in Buster Mass from 6 to 9.
It's our man Gary Jordan throwing the flag and the cap.
Including James Food and a costume contest.
We'll sort this all out here.
a truck or treat.
Our referee today is Cecil Harrison.
In the walking stick parking lot. Student organization and staff can sign.
They're still sorting it out down here. 2:33 to go in the third quarter. Thunderwolves lead at 26-7. Final home game of the year for the Thunderwolves.
Deion Sizer wants in on that. So is Josh Croy. These guys are they're diplomats, those defensive linemen.
Please give a Thunderbowl welcome to Dr. Lucas King, who recently joined in multi-specialty orthopedics.
You got to see which way they start walking. That's the key.
Professional and collegiate athletes and comes from the nation's premier
This right here reminds me of the commercial where the guy announces what he wants for dinner because he's an official. It's right. Because they're conferencing about everything.
Here's the call.
For 2020, both on the receiving team. Holding. Receiving team. That penalty is declined. Personal foul. Participating without the helmet. 15 yards for in the run. First down.
Well, that could have been a lot worse than what it looked.
Yeah. So it is against Western State. Marks it back inside the 20, all the way back to the 17-yard line.
Basically, they got into it, the guy came off, and he was still in the play. They tell you if you lose your helmet during a play, you have to stand up or drop immediately. Yeah. You can't continue on. Participating without a helmet. Wildcat.
And right up the middle is Griggs, and he just gets it back to the line of scrimmage, basically.
Number 4, Zach Griggs, the ball carrier.
Zach Griggs, senior out of Fruita Monument.
Second down.
Like I said, that play worked once. You ever see the movie Johnny Dangerously?
Violet.
My mom, she talked to me like that once. Once.
And ligament surgery. Visit our state-of-the-art orthopedic center at Park West.
2nd and 9. The gun this time. Now they audible and look over to the sideline.
Play clock down to 5.
Call. Give it off the left side. Not a whole lot.
Jim, it's like they audible to say run into the wall. Put your head down and run into the wall.
So no gain. It'll be 3rd and 9. Well, just if you're looking at Western State trying to scout their program, thinking where they're going to come, their defense, they're good enough to compete.
Well, they're good up front. Very good up front.
Now, the place they're going to have to get better, they're going to have to get offensive linemen and some skilled players. Their offense is lacking, to say the least. 3rd and 9. Straight drop back. Here comes pressure. They flush him. Rolling to his right. Now flings it ahead, incomplete.
That was a great job by Csu-Pueblo's defense. I'm looking to see which is, because they didn't bite on it was Brandon Pear, of course. He didn't come up and totally sell out on the quarterback because he would have just dumped it off.
And the quarterback hurt on the play as Jacob being run out of bounds. I think he ran into the yard or the down marker on this side, which didn't get dropped in a hurry, and I think he ran right into it with his leg. That's what at least it looked like to me. As he headed over here toward the sideline, he is down, and not in a good way. Up to the board, they might have already shown the replay of what exactly happened over on this sideline, but the sticks are on the other side, but there's a down marker on this side, and I think that's what he ended up right next to, if not into it.
Would that be Ray Ecker holding the sticks?
Could be.
You don't want to mess with him.
No. And he got rid of the pass, got it forward. So I was watching the track of the ball, but when you look back, you just saw the mass of humanity. Now the quarterback is up.
But that play, Jim, is the quarterback's looking for somebody, and then if you're running him, you're mirroring him to the sidelines, and you commit too closely, he'll dump it over the top of you. Pear did a great job of staying right to where he couldn't do anything with the football.
So he's up. He's being walked over to the other side of the field this time. It might be it doesn't look like there's any problem with his legs. He might have just been
Well, he's been
dinged up when he got hit along the sideline there.
And he's been hurt this season. Remember, he wasn't even listed on the depth chart. They didn't think he was going to play today.
He's a big, strong kid, that's for sure.
Who do we got back? Is that Brandon O'Donnell?
And he'll stand at his own 35.
It is.
Here's the kick and another shank job.
Another bad one.
And it's out of bounds, so the Thunderbolts will be up around midfield again. There's a flag down as we have somebody nailed out of bounds here. As it was Filio involved with Nolan from Western State up along this sideline. If I had to guess, this is going to be a personal foul against Western State here.
Well, the line judge, Matthew Burke, he took off his hat, so that means somebody ran out of bounds.
Either that or he was running along out of bounds, Joe, and not making an attempt to get back out on the field of play. They don't want you running up the restricted area.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the receiving team. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 30. That is his first of the day. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 30. That is his second of the day. By rule, he is disqualified.
He said receiving team, so it's not. He meant the kicking team, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that would have been Sebastian Spencer for CSU.
No, I think it's the man involved was 30 on Western State. It should have been the kicking team. That's who I saw was Casey Nolan. Yeah, now they're changing. I can see them there say, "Hey, it's the other way, guys." It was the kicking team.
Jazz Baines is not happy with that. He's getting his pound of flesh verbally. So that you get 30 yards and penalties here.
Well, I'm thinking the first personal foul on Nolan might have been for what we were talking about, Joe, running off the field of play, not getting back on the field of play.
Oh, now they just threw another flag over there
on Baines.
On the coaches. That's going to be a half the distance foul. Or that could just be a sideline warning. If they're benevolent, it'll be a sideline warning. And he's walking him back to the sideline.
Yeah, so you're going to talk to me over here. And Jazz is getting the explanation now, but it's a one-sided conversation. The referee's just standing there like the guy on the commercial, just standing there listening to his wife in his ear.
I like the fact that the passion the Jazz shows. Team's 1-7. They're in the ball game. This is hardly a blowout. It doesn't feel like it's a close game.
No, it doesn't. And the referee, the white hat here, of course, is Cecil Harrison. He could just whisper to Jazz, says, "You know, Jazz, I gave you a touchdown."
Right, yeah, say, "Hey, look, you got one when you weren't supposed to, so if you want to take that off the board and call it good, we can do that."
To me, this is just too long a conversation with the, let the coach, you've had your say, it's done, let's go. Now, you don't have to stand there and listen to him.
No, you say, all right, make your point, let's play football. 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Somebody in this arena is on deadline. Going to get a call here, but I guess it's going to be sideline warning. He's still screaming at him.
Well, another thing he's probably upset about is his player, Nolan. He's kicked out of the game. So in the ejection, that means he's done next week as well. So he's probably feeling like that's too harsh a penalty. We're calling that for unsportsmanlike conduct, but he got back-to-back.
Now Gary Jordan's over there trying to explain something to him. You don't want to get in a tangle with Gary Jordan.
No, he's kind of a brick wall.
Yeah, you don't want to get in a tangle with him.
Now they're discussing again. It makes you wonder if Jazz made some kind of point here where the officials are now rediscussing it. Then that'll be John Risson's turn to go off.
Well, you don't want to be the second one because they'll never change it back. That's the thing. Here's a call.
Well, now they're going back. They're wanting to get off the field of play to make the call.
This, like you said, Jim, this is just ridiculously long. This doesn't need to be this long. You let him say his piece, and then let's move on and play football.
I doubt we get any kind of explanation here unless they change the call. He is going to the mic here.
Yeah, so they're going to move
the additional.
They're going to move it another 8, another 7.
Yeah, so we had the 30-yard mark off now, plus half the distance.
With all that, the Pack is back in the Thunder Zone.
Oh, it's all the way down. It'll be down to around the 8-yard line, or starting from the 15 here. So it'll be at the 7.5, which will officially be the 7. So first and goal for the Thunderwolves after all that.
That was ridiculous. But you let him say his piece.
So Dowsell will operate from the gun with Denard on his right hip. Marche looking for another touchdown. Movement along the line of scrimmage. They give it the jet sweep right side. Smith flag is down.
That's a hold.
Smith breaks a tackle. He's to the pylon. Touchdown, but it won't count. It's going to be holding here on the Thunderwolves.
You think that's a makeup call?
You know, that jet sweep, he might have just reached out and grabbed something.
No, you know what that could have meant is the engagement block, the illegal block.
Just
flat holding. Keith Head. Just
looked like a tackle job. I just saw the replay real quick on the online feed is back up here, and it's about 40 seconds behind us as we're talking live here. Now that's going to confuse everybody if they've got the audio fixed. They've had some obnoxious beeping today on the live stream.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And they tried to, I've had a couple notes. Well, there's no obnoxious beeping going out over the air on Fox Sports Pueblo. So that tells you it's not on our end.
We sound great.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with us. So it's back at the 17-yard line now from the pistol this time. Dowson gives it up the middle to Denard, breaks one tackle, gets it to about the 15.
Now that could be the end of this quarter.
Yeah, it's 26-7. Thunderwolves on top. And Thunderwolves, the play clock never did start. Probably because it didn't need to, because we're under 40s. That's the reason why it never started. So Thunderwolves just run the clock out. They're already holding up 4 fingers down there, so that means we're going to the fourth quarter. So we'll change ends here. Thunderwolves lead it 26-7. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
26-7, Thunderwolves on top as we start the fourth quarter. Second and goal for the Thunderwolves from the 15. Johnson to the right, Smith to the left. Eckhoff in motion to the left side of the formation. Dowson up under center, straight drop back, pump fake now, going corner route, looking for Johnson. That's got to be interference. Flag finally comes out late. It's almost like you had to really think about it and say, you know what, I got to call it. Interference against Western State. So this will mark it all the way down to the 2-yard line for the Thunderwolves. Interference in college football is not half the distance in this situation here. And it's not a spot foul. But they don't spot it at the 1 like they do in the pro game. They spot it at the 2 is where the line of scrimmage will be.
Well,
still again a long
why
conference.
Are they taking so long to do this?
And Mitchell Jones, the sophomore out of Woodinville, Washington, is the guilty part of the cornerback for Western State.
Jim, this is just like that commercial.
Yeah.
They conference about everything. These guys had a conference to conference.
First and goal from the 2. Michi into the game here to try to get the touchdown. O'Malley in motion, resets on the left side. And they fake it. Pass to the end zone, touchdown, Eckhoff.
On senior day, Aaron Eckhoff. Our biggest fan now at the John Riston Show.
So there you go, Malia. His aunt.
I'm guessing she's here today.
Probably, but she'll watch it again and listen again. She's a hardcore fan, Joe. Just a little rollout that time on the play-action bootleg. Low snap. It's handled, though. Kick is up. And it is good. 14:49 to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunderbolts lead at 33-7 on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
To 7. Thunderbolts on top.
Aaron Eckhoff on Senior Day. The biggest bromance on the team.
Yeah, him.
Aaron Eckhoff and Zach Boyd. They have shirts. You know, the fact that you acknowledge having a bromance, but then having it broadcast, or advertised on shirts.
That's being comfortable in your own skin. Here's the kick. Sailed about the 7-yard line. Chance of the return across 15, 20. Breaking a tackle. Now trying to get outside with it. It's Perkins, and then he's taken down at the 20.
Perkins, ball carrier.
Thunderbolts just so fast.
Yeah, you don't run wide on them.
And they've been very good ever since the Mesa game. When the Mesa took one back to the house on them, the Thunderbolts' return coverage has been a lot better.
It's been a point of emphasis.
Exactly. It's kind of where I was going.
Well, I can say it because, like I said, John likes to roll a few guys every week in practice, and special teams. He's coached special teams for a lot of years, at a lot of different levels. You mess up on special teams, he'll let you know it.
1st and 10 for the Mountaineers from their own 21-yard line. Thunderbolts jumped offside, but they didn't make contact.
Sure,
so they're back. Yeah, it looked like the center got hit. Here's the handoff on the jet sweep. No gain.
Well, that's Bruyere, the quarterback. The new quarterback, Jacob, is not back in.
Well, they handed it to Bryce Harvey that time, and he gets nothing.
Actually kind of lost a half a yard. But it's all semantics.
Easton Bruyere, the sophomore out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. I remember playing the...
Well, they had a volleyball player here at Csu-Pueblo named Jordan Bruyere. I wonder if that's a... Well, it's the same spelling, and that's not a very common name.
A lot of shifting here on offense. They hand the ball up the middle. And, well, second effort there that time, kind of squirting out of there.
Kind of just keeps going.
And it's Leyba. And he gets it out to about the 28-yard line. Well, we're talking about Rio Rancho, New Mexico. I remember playing the RMAC Conference Golf Tournament there in 1984 in about a 50-mile-an-hour wind. Shot 88-85, Joe, and thought it was one of the greatest 2 rounds of golf I've ever played in my life. Leading it after the first round, 80-81.
In Rio Rancho,
New Mexico. Next day it was not bad. About 20 miles an hour, shot 75. Straight drop back, fire over the middle, incomplete. I tell you what, the little case of the alligator arms that time for Perkins. He knew if he laid out to catch that, there was a big number 84, had him lined up. And, Joe, you just don't want to quite, it's just not quite worth it. That'll be punt formation again here for Western State.
Well, his sister, Jordan Bruyere, played volleyball at Csu-Pueblo. I don't know if he's a sister. She's also from Rio Rancho, so I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's pretty good circumstantial evidence, Joe.
Let's see if in the personal she says has a younger brother named Easton.
There you go.
Hey.
That's what you call doing some reporting and some investigation. That's CSI type stuff there.
The internet.
So Thunderbolts take over again in great field position. They have definitely won the field position battle today. They'll take over at the 47-yard line of the Mountaineers.
Brandon Edwards in at quarterback, or is that Gunner? That's Brandon.
Brandon, I see the knee brace.
Got to get him some touches.
Eckhoff in motion to the right side, resets. Play action. Edwards sets, fires it right. Ball batted down. Good
Didn't
play
see the linebacker dropping cover. Ferris.
Lane Ferris. He is a multi-talented on that defensive unit. got that linebacker build. He kind of struts around out there.
Yeah, wears 54, like a real linebacker number.
Dan DeRose's old number there.
Whose boys you got this week?
They're down at Utah State.
Logan. Or is that Logan or Ogden?
You know, one of those two. I'll just say yes.
It's Utah.
Where we'll be next week. Hand off to Michi. Good burst. Across the 40, 35, 30. 25, and down to about the 22-yard line. He was right on the hip that time of Zach Boyd. Almost feel like if Austin had just kind of hesitated maybe just a little bit, Joe, maybe he could have set up the block that time to maybe get it on into the end zone, but he was in a hurry to get where he wanted to go. That was a straight line.
Zach Boyd blocking all the way downfield.
And Zach's coming out of the game. You can just tell Zach is not 100% just by his body language. He's got that right shoulder and arm kind of taped up. 1st and 10, Thunderwolves from the 21-yard line. So Malley in motion. They give it again to Michi off the right side and bounces it down to about the 18-yard line. Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. 33-7. Thunderwolves on top. 12:20 to go here in the 4th quarter.
2nd down.
Of course, when we're talking about Danny DeRose and his boy Bruno, he plays, of course, for Boise State. And we're going to get to see him in a couple weeks, so that should be fun after we make the drive back from Chadron.
And that's all weather permitting.
Yeah, as long as there's no snow on the ground. That's right, coming back from Chadron.
I can't imagine a longer day than covering a game at noon and watching one at 8:30.
Here's Edwards rolling right. He's got Eckhoff open. He has the pass inside the 10. He's got the 1st down for the Thunderwolves. Love that play right there. When you run it off play action, the quick little rollout, and you get the tight end, they're always open. And it's just a mismatch physically when you get the ball to the tight end, running against usually a safety. Hard to bring them down for less than what the 1st down would be.
Well, and look at the safety. Look at the tight ends you're throwing to.
Exactly.
Boyd, Eckhoff, Morgan Smith.
Forsgren in the game. He lines up wide to the right. Long is to the left. Long is to the right. They give it to Michi up the middle, bounces it, but he's hit down right at the line of scrimmage.
28 up to Michi, the ball carrier. Sunday by number 99, Will Light.
That'll be 2nd down and goal. Probably a loss of a yard that time. Back to the 10, they're going to mark it. 33-7, Thunderwolves on top.
Jim, my Rams lose. At Air Force.
Oh
or no, at home against Air Force.
What was the final there?
Yeah, a lot to a little.
Oh, no. Air Force, you never know.
CU wins at home, though.
Didn't see that coming.
Against Cal.
We'll have all the scores for you in the post-game show.
I forgot you do a post-game. I'm usually writing at that time.
Forsgren lines up wide to the right this time, long to the left. Straight drop back by Edwards. Looks right, fires right, caught by Boyd. Dives to the pylon, he's in! Touchdown, Thunderwolves! Superman! Zach Boyd, he caught that ball and he just launched himself toward the pylon and hit it for the touchdown.
You knew he was going to get one on his senior night, didn't you? You knew he was. Tight ends have a couple of them now.
So the bromance, now they can add touchdowns to their little shirt. We need to get one of those, Joe.
Oh, they're great.
Ball's down, kick is up, and it is good. 10:42 to go here in the 4th quarter. Thunderwolves lead it 40-7. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
$40-7, Thunderwolves on top. Zach Boyd with the touchdown. This is running mate Aaron Eckhoff also has a touchdown in this game.
So I have to write the bromance story tonight?
Might have to. It might be the time.
Couple of seniors.
Here's a kick, short kick this time. Going to be taken at the 11-yard line, out across the 15, 20, 25, 31-yard line.
Number 5, Roderick Perkins, ball carrier. Foul made by number 40, Miles Matthews.
The people on the east side of the stadium are basking in the sun. The people on the west side of the stadium are freezing.
Yeah, they're looking for blankets. They're looking for their jackets. It's, well, it's that time of year when you're not in the sun anymore. You can get a little cold.
Well, I have shorts on and a sweater.
My wife thought I was an idiot today going out the door with shorts, but I said, well, Joe wears shorts. It's our own bromance in the booth.
But you know me. If I wear shorts unless it's snowing.
That's true. And they go to the Wildcat, and Joe with that saying that well too often.
Yeah, it worked once.
Foul made by number 45, Kyle Rosenthal.
I'm looking at, they're rotating a lot of players in now, Jim. That's good to see. Got to stay healthy and fresh. Got a long trip next week. They're going to break it up. Thursday, they're going to go to Grand Junction.
Okay.
And then Friday on over to Cedar City, Utah, which is about an hour outside of St. George because there are no hotel rooms in St. George, Utah next weekend. None.
Cedar City's where Southern Utah is, isn't it?
Okay.
That's where Southern Utah University is. It's where the Thunderbolts, then Indians, used to go. There's a flying into the middle. Great stop for the Thunderbolts, flying in from the center. Bryce Vitkovich, or Vitkovich, as we like to say here in Pueblo, as Joe said.
Yeah, if you're from Pueblo, it's Vitkovich. If you're from anywhere else, it's Vitkovich.
3rd and 11 for the Mountaineers. Now, Bryce, he'd be right at home over in Vesper.
They have a perfect lawn, too.
He would.
Bojan Town.
3rd and 11. Straight drop back. Looking up the left sideline, and a chance for the third pick. No, Emery Taylor had his hands on it, couldn't quite secure it. And he gets up shaking his head. Dang it.
Got a nice email from our friend Paul Grinstaff. He said that Easton Briere's dad was a standout wide receiver for New Mexico Highlands in the early 90s. Mom played volleyball there, so it's
an athletic family.
But their kids go to Csu-Pueblo and Western State.
They were both at Highlands, you said?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Hey, now. Charlie Spickens, man. We love it.
I didn't have to say. I just didn't finish the sentence, and it said it all, didn't it?
I know.
Here is the kick, spiraling, driving kick. Going to be hit down.
One hop, ball. The wrong hop.
And, well, he does take it across the 25, 30. And not much more there for Brandon O'Donnell.
That's where you want that one hop, the nice high catch hop, then you can take off and go.
Gilbert, first down.
So we're down to 8:47 to go here in this fourth quarter. Thunderbolts lead at 40-7. Start sprinkling in some of these scores today that the Thunderbolts had their eyes on. They could have used Sioux Falls losing a game today, but they pulled one out. They won 21-14 over Augustana. They face Minnesota State, though, at the end of the year. So that's one you kind of count on them getting their second loss of the year. That's one of those teams the Thunderbolts are going to have to be in the race with for that last playoff spot. Here is the handoff up the middle. That's Jevin Jordan who's into the ball game. Takes it out across the 30 to the 34-yard line. Speaking of Minnesota State, that was a showdown today with Winona State, and they won it. 27-6 is the final there. Minnesota State. They remain undefeated, and now Winona State with one loss on the year. It'll be second down now and 5 for the Thunderbolts after the gain of 5 by Jordan. They're in the I formation. O'Malley is the fullback. They give it to Jevin up the middle, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage, pushes the pile forward, maybe out across the 35. Looks like they're going to spot it right at the 35, though. So a gain of a yard. It'll be third down and 4. As we're under 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Thunderbolts on top 40-7. It's a final now. Mesa has defeated Highlands 77-14.
style points.
Yeah, hopefully you took the over and took Mesa to cover there. 3rd and 4. Straight drop back, now going to roll the pocket right. Edwards fires right. Forsgren has it right at the first down. Looks like it is a first down. Cole Forsgren making the grab. Went down to his knees that time and secured it. Knew he was going to take a shot, but he gets the first down. Cole Forsgren, he's like a nice little insurance policy to have. If you ever get a couple injuries at the wide receiver spot, you just get the feeling that he could step right in and the Thunderbolts wouldn't miss a beat.
Absolutely.
Central Washington and Azusa Pacific tied at 17 in the 3rd quarter at my last report. Thunderbolts could use Azusa coming up with a big upset there. Pass right side, caught by Forsgren, puts his head down and just wedges his way out to about the 44-yard line.
You know, they tackled him forward.
Yeah, they kind of hit him, and his momentum plus them pulling him gains 4 on the play. That was a pretty good physical run that time by Forsgren. He's another one of those guys, deceptive. Just doesn't, you don't get the feeling that they're that big of guys, but they're put together. That's a product of that weight room with Alan Hedrick and the strength team here at Csu-Pueblo. 2nd and 6. And they're going to draw a play to Jordan on the right side. Flag comes down. Going to be a hold here on the Thunderbolts.
Number 39, Kevin Jordan, ball carrier. There's a flag on the play.
Jerry Jordan from the umpire, that's usually a hold or an illegal use of the hands. Still got I just say varsity.
Oh.
Yeah. Jim, I saw that. He came up and almost took his helmet off.
So hands to the face against the Mountaineers. So that gives the Thunderbolts a first down all the way down to the 40-yard line of the Mountaineers here. Right at the 6-minute mark here of the 4th quarter, Thunderbolts on top 40-7. Edwards up under center, offset eye. Right side to Jordan. And he puts his head down, bangs his way right into the safety, down to the 32-yard line. What a collision that was.
He's like a pinball. You pull the plunger back and fire him through, and then he hits something and just knocks him down.
Will Holligan, the safety for Western State there out of Pomona, he was on the receiving end of that one. 2nd down and 2. Again, up under center or offset eye. O'Malley, the fullback. Quick hitch, right side to Forsgren. Puts his head down, hit across the 30. And this time they do a better job of getting him down to the turf.
I think he got the first down, though.
And it is a first down across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. So they needed 2. They got 3. 1st and 10 Thunderwolves.
Number 24, correction number 44, Quincy Temple.
Clock continues to run.
First down.
4:50.
Pack led it 20-0 at halftime. Western State given a gift return on a fumble is what the interpretation was for a touchdown, making it 20-7, but the Thunderbolts have dominated since then. Get everybody up into the box. This makes it tough to run for Jordan, but he's not shy. Takes it and going to lose about 2 on the play. It's kind of thankless work right here when you're trying to run against 8 or 9 guys in the box.
Everybody knows who's running.
44, Quincy Temple, and number 56, Brendan.
Devin Jordan is loved by his teammates. They can't wait for him to play and succeed.
Forsgren to the right, long to the left this time. Edwards again up under center here. I formation this time. On 2nd and 12. Give it to Jordan up the middle.
Nice patience there.
It's across the 30, still on his feet. Fighting, all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Spot made by number 33, Justin Barnum.
So 3rd down now and 7 for the Thunderwolves with 3:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. Joe Cervi getting set to make his way down to the field. He'll talk to John Riston right after this ball game. That's the future son for Joe Cervi, John Cervi. Pass left side, incomplete. Trying to get it to O'Shea Washington. So Thunderbolts could try another field goal here, I suppose, with 2:59 to go, or you just go for it and not rub it in. They thought about sending the field goal unit on here, but I think Thunderbolts are going to leave their offense out here and just try to earn it that way. They don't want to pile on, in other words, right here. If there was, say, 5:59 to go, then you send the field goal unit out because there's still plenty of time in the game that you still want to play the game normally. But with this spot, with 2:59 to go, you just kind of go for it and see what happens. From the pistol. And delay a game on the Thunderwolves.
Delay the game.
So 4th and 12 now from the pistol. Edwards straight drop back. Here comes pressure up the middle. Gets the pass away, and it's intercepted at the 21-yard line. He was trying to get it to Sammy Long, and it was picked off.
Pass intercepted by number 3.
Good play for Western State. Their cornerback that time, Mason Bodie. He jumped the route, gets the interception. So ball goes over to Western State with 2:53 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Carry on the back. Thank you for your support.
Stay with us after the ball game. We'll have all the highlights for you. Caitlin Norton's been compiling those all day. We'll have the numbers for you, and we'll have a scoreboard show. We'll tell you where we're going to be next week. That all comes your way on the Thunderwolves post-game show. From the pistol, they give the ball up the middle. And hit down immediately. Big hit in there for the Thunderwolves.
Number 25.
And the ball handled by Leyva.
Stop made by number 54, Trayvon Few.
So gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Mountaineers. Trayvon Fuse, the junior out of Fountain Fort Carson, on the stop there for the Thunderwolves. Transferred in this year. And the handoff up to Leyva again, and he is pounded down. This time on the stop for the Thunderwolves. This the 2nd and 3rd stringers coming in. Luke Connelog that time blasted him down. So it'll be 3rd down now and 5 for the Mountaineers. Connelog, a redshirt freshman out of Erie. Minute 50 to go here. Thunderwolves lead at 40-7. Great drop back, look, fire right, and it sails out of bounds. Incomplete. And it'll be 4th down in Western State. Well, we got a little scrum here after the fact. No flags come in, though. They just break everybody up. Or is there a flag? The officials' conference. I'm looking for it. I guess they did pick one up over here. Flag laying at the 22-yard line. Could be roughing the passer here.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 17. After this, this will go. 4th down.
Well, shouldn't guess, I guess. Dead ball personal foul against Western State here. Andrew Barrier on the call. No shortage of personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts today against Western State. That's for sure. Thunderbolt's been a lot better today avoiding penalties. They're in the top 10 in the country on the wrong side. Penalties called. Punt formation here. Low snap. It's handled. Get the kick away. Spiraling job. He handled at the 42-yard line, back up the middle of the field and going down there. Shane Larson, the freshman out of Pueblo West, on the return for the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts take over at the 46-yard line. They can go into victory formation here. And that's indeed what the Thunderbolts will do. As Edwards up under center here. Takes the snap and takes the knee. He'll just have to do it one more time and we'll call it good. And they come up under center one final time here. Waiting for the clock to get under 40 seconds, and that's what they do. They take the knee, and that will do it. All that's left now is for the clock to run out. Both teams will start to congratulate each other on a job well done. Thunderbolts win it 40-7. Post-game show coming up on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Thunderwolves post-game show. And quickly, let's go down to the field. And Joe Cervi with John Riston.
Head coach John Riston, 40-7. Good way to send these seniors out at home.
Yeah, it's nice to get a win. It was a little sloppy, but we got a win, and defense played great. Offense, we sputtered a little bit, but we got a win. Ready to send out these 2017 seniors.
Western State does that to you, though. They make you play a little bit ugly. They have for 9-10 years now. They haven't beat you since you started football back, but they tend to do that to you, and that's a testament to their coaches and their kids.
No question. I tell these guys, staff, the whole time, they get the most out of their kids, and they play hard, and I'm very, very impressed with what they do. It's like sticking a pencil in my eye the whole time we play these guys.
Talk a little bit. You mentioned the defense. One play away from a shutout, still a controversial touchdown. It wasn't even close on replay, but anyway, the defense, 2 picks, another pick 6. It's got to be fun to watch for you.
Yeah, it's awesome to have a pick 6 and great for our defensive kids.
And both tight ends, Aaron Eckhoff and Zach Boyd, both get one. They both get touchdowns on the bromance diet for seniors.
Yeah, good for them.
All right, one quick, getting ready to go to Dixie for the first time ever. Quick thought on them.
Well, we got 24 hours, and I had them as one of the top teams in the league.
All right, Jim, back upstairs.
All right, thanks a lot, Joe. John Riston, a man of few words after this ball game tonight. Short and sweet. Well, we'll come back. We'll have the highlights for you. That comes your way next. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
CSU-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Neta and Eddie DeRose Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts win the ball game 40-7. Caitlin Norton's been compiling the headlights all afternoon long, so let's get right to it. It was a slow start today for both teams offensively, but the Thunderbolts finally taking advantage of some good field position late in the first quarter, and they went to the air for the first one. Johnson up under center this time. Wide out to each side. Johnson to the left, Smith to the right. Eckhoff goes in motion to the right
play
side.
Clock down to 2.
They get the play off barely. Play action. Dowson sets. He's going deep down the middle. He's got Smith open, and he's got a touchdown! And Josh Smith hauling it in as Dowson dropped it right in the bucket there for the touchdown right at the goal line. Smith hauled it in. And the extra point was blocked, so that stops the 42-in-a-row streak for Mitchell Carter. It was 6-0 at that point. That was on the final play of the first quarter. Thunderbolts then came back in the second quarter. Again, excellent field position. It would only take them 2 plays to go 58 yards. Rivers comes in motion to the right side. Run the draw play. Denard up the middle, across the 10, across the 5, to the goal line. Touchdown, Thunderwolves! It was a 2-play, 58-yard drive. As I said, all 58 yards go to Marche Denard. He had a 43-yard run, or 45-yard run, then a 13-yard run for the 2 plays on the drive. Thunderwolves then came back a little bit later in the second quarter, and once again, it was the defense's turn. Straight drop back. They look left. Man is open. It's picked off. Taylor, 10-5, touchdown. The receiver never turned around, and Taylor, he jumped the route, takes it on into the end zone. Extra point was good. Thunderwolves led it 20-0, and that's where we stood at halftime. Went to the third quarter, and Western State gets their lone touchdown today. It was definitely a controversial play. Eckhoff in motion, resets on the left side. Straight drop back by Dowson. Here comes pressure off the edge. Screen pass right side to Denard. Bobbles it and finally drops it.
That was probably the best.
Now they're saying it's a live ball. No way that could be a live ball.
Pass.
And running it on into the end zone. And they're going to say this is the touchdown for Western State. He never controlled the football. It was a screwy play indeed. They ruled it as a fumble recovery, saying it was a backwards pass. No way. It was probably 2 yards forward, but that's the way they ruled it. So Western State got on the board. The extra point was good. Thunderwolves then bounced back, moved the ball. They got a field goal by Mitchell Carter, a 30-yarder to make it 23-7. That was with 6:55 to go in the third quarter. Mitchell Carter then would add a 37-yard field goal with 2:40 to go in the third quarter, making the score 26-7. Then the Thunderwolves moved on into the fourth quarter, and it was tight end number 1's turn to get on the board. First and goal from the 2. Michi into the game here to try to get the touchdown. O'Malley in motion, resets on the left side, and they fake it. Pass to the end zone, touchdown, Eckhoff. It's just a simple little bootleg play that time by Rex Dowson, and he found Eckhoff at the goal line for the touchdown. Extra point was good. 14:49 to go in the fourth quarter. Thunderwolves led it 33-7. And we talked about the bromance all year long. It was a chance now for Zach Boyd to add to the total. Score's going to lie up wide to the right this time, long to the left. Straight drop back by Edwards. Looks right, fires right, caught by Boyd. Dives to the pylon. He's in. Touchdown, Thunderwolves. Extra point good by Mitchell Carter to close out the scoring, 40-7. Thunderwolves win it. Once again, we thank Caitlin Norton for compiling the highlights all afternoon long. We'll come back. We'll have the numbers for you right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Neta and Eddie DeRose Thunderbowl. Thunderwolves win the ball game 40-7. Let's give you the final numbers from today's ball game. Thunderwolves had 18 first downs. Western State was 7. Thunderwolves with 172 on the ground, 218 through the air. That's 390 yards on total offense, 64 plays from scrimmage. Western State had only 12 yards rushing, 14 yards passing, 26 yards in the game on 49 plays from scrimmage. That's paltry, to say the least. Time of possession, Thunderwolves 33-22, Western State 26-38. Thunderwolves 4 of 12 on third down, Western State only 2 of 15. Thunderwolves 5 of 6 today from the red zone. Western was 0 for 1 in the red zone today. Penalties, Thunderwolves penalized 7 times for 51 yards, Western State 8 times for 102 yards. Here are the individual numbers. Marche Denard, 12 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Averaged 9 yards a carry today at a 45-yard run, his longest as well. Austin Michi, 11 carries for 45 yards. Jordan, 6 carries for 19. Griggs, 8 carries for 77. Remember, one of those was for 65, so the other 7 only accounted for 12 yards today out of the Wildcat formation. Leba, 13 carries, 14 yards. Yep, that's right, not a misprint. Through the air today, Rex Dowson, 13 of 18, 2 touchdowns. Was sacked once. Edwards was 6 of 11, did throw the 1 pick, and did have the 1 touchdown pass. He was sacked twice. Dylan Jacob, 4 of 13, had 3 intercepted today. Easton Barrera, who actually started the game, 0 for 4 obviously, for no yards. Johnson caught 5 balls for 92. Forsman 4 for 18. Smith 2 for 45 in the touchdown. Rivers 2 for 26. Of course, if you don't make the top 4 in catches, you don't get on the receiver sheet, but we should mention that Boyd caught the touchdown pass as well as Eckhoff. Eckhoff actually caught 2 passes today. Manchester 1 for 10. McDonald 1 for 7. Perkins 1 for -1. Harvey 1 for -2 for Western State. Defensive numbers. Sizer, a monster game today for the Thunderbolts. 9 tackles. Payer with 8. Donnell and Vandekop with 5 apiece. 10 tackles for Lane Ferris for Western State. Mitchell Jones had 7. Halligan with 5. Dill with 5. Final score, Thunderbolts win at 40-7. Back with the scores from around the country right after this on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
Celebration continues down on the field as you might imagine here on Senior Day for the Thunderwolves. Friends and family, parents, all loved ones out there on the field, and a lot of pictures being taken. And it's just kind of a fun way all the way around down there for Thunderwolves fans and the players after this very successful win today, 40-7. Great senior class indeed. Let's get you some scores from around the country, shall we? And we'll start in the RMAC. Colorado Mines defeated Chadron State 27-15. We'll be at Chadron in 2 weeks. South Dakota Mines, they had a lead early on Fort Lewis, but the Skyhawks come back and they defeat Mines in a wild one, 44-35 today down in Durango. Speaking of wild, Colorado Mesa 77-14. They paced New Mexico Highlands today. Dixie State, where we'll be next week, they tuned up today for the Thunderwolves, 54 points. It was against Adams State, but still 54 is 54, right? They defeat Adams State 54-28. Of course, the Thunderwolves winning here. Black Hill State was idle this week. They elected not to pick up a game this week. Scores from around the state. CU comes up with a victory today over California, 44-28. Game played up today in Boulder. In Fort Collins today, Air Force, they defeat Colorado State 45-28. And in Greeley this afternoon, Southern Utah knocks off Northern Colorado 27-14. Let's go around Division II football. Well, number 1 is number 1 no more. Northwest Missouri, they've been living kind of a charmed life this year on the ropes a couple of times, but today they get knocked off. Pittsburgh State, the Gorillas beat them 20-10, so there'll be a new number 1 team in Division II football next week, and that'll probably be IUP, Indiana of Pennsylvania, as they defeat Gannon today 42-26. Number 3, Minnesota State in Super Region 4 with the Thunderwolves. They'll be at the top of the heap now after today's win over Winona State, 27-6, the final there. Number 4, Ashland over Wayne State, 30-10. Number 5, Shepherd over West Virginia Wesleyan, 45-14. Number 6, Midwestern State. They're also, of course, from the Lone Star in Super Region 4. They take on Permian Basin tonight. Shouldn't be much of a game for Midwestern State. Number 7, Ferris State. They defeat Northwood today, 24-14. Number 8, Fort Hays State. They're undefeated this year. They defeat Northwood 24-14. Or excuse me, it was 34-7 Fort Hays over Emporia State. Number 9, Texas A&M Commerce in Super Region 4. They take on West Texas A&M tonight in Canyon, Texas. That game getting underway in about 10 minutes. UIndy, former playoff opponent of the Thunderwolves, they defeated William Jewell today 42-3. Number 12, Azusa Pacific, or Central Washington rather, hosting Azusa Pacific. It's late fourth quarter now. Central Washington has a 20-17 lead. That, of course, very important to Thunderwolf fans. You would like to see Central Washington lose a game here coming down the stretch, but they win today they're leading over Azusa Pacific. 20-17 late fourth quarter. Another Super Region 4 game. The 13th ranked team in the country, Sioux Falls, they survive. They defeat Augustana 21-14. Number 14, Grand Valley State, they lead in the fourth quarter 21-3. Number 15, Assumption defeats Stonehill. Number 16, Wingate, they play tonight. Number 17, Central Missouri, they're beat today by Central Oklahoma. 48-30 is the final there. Number 18, Virginia State defeats Chowan. We mentioned Mesa's score earlier, the 19th ranked team in the country. They win big. Number 20, West Georgia, they won on Thursday night over Shorter, 42-6. Number 21, Humboldt State, also in Super Region 4 against the Thunderwolves. They lead big in the fourth quarter, 47-7. they'll finish up the year with a game against Central Washington as they battle for that great Northwest crown. Here, Csu-Pueblo, of course, won late fourth quarter, or actually it's a halftime score. West Alabama leads West Florida 14-9. Thursday night, Minnesota Duluth, Super Region 4. They shut out Bemidji State 17-0. Final, California defeats Mercyhurst 31-21. So as you can see from those scores, no help today for the Thunderbolts in Super Region 4. Eastern New Mexico also in action tonight against Texas A&M Kingsville. We have to think Eastern New Mexico will be the prohibitive favor in that one, but maybe our old friend Coach Wilk will find a way to get Kingsville to knock off Eastern New Mexico. Thunderbolts could use that help. So that takes care of those scores. We'll come back after this timeout. We'll see what's going on in big boy football, as well as tell you where we're going to be next week. That all comes your way next. Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo.
Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.
And welcome back to the Neta and DeRose Thunderbowl. Thunderbolts win the ball game here today, 40-7 over Western State. Let's see what's happening in big boy football today. Georgia defeats Florida 42-7. It's gone final. Ohio State has scored a touchdown, so they have drawn within 5 now of Penn State. 38-33. Looks like 4.5 minutes to go in that ball game. They've gone overtime today in Evanston as Michigan State and Northwestern getting set to start overtime there. Notre Dame on their way to a big victory today over North Carolina State. They lead at 35-14. Maybe the Irish are for real this year. Their only loss was to Georgia. Iowa State defeats TCU 14-7. Iowa State continues to come up with big wins this year. South Florida over Houston 24-21. Central Florida defeated Austin Peay. Actually, that's a halftime score. Beg your pardon. 45-26. Wisconsin defeats Illinois. Oklahoma State over West Virginia. Miami over North Carolina. Washington over UCLA. Other games tonight, the other final we have for you was last night, Memphis over Tulane 56-26. Thursday night, Stanford defeated Oregon State. So that's what has happened elsewhere in football today. Probably the games of the night tonight. Let's see, Georgia Tech and Clemson. That'd be a pretty good one. Texas Tech at Oklahoma as well. USC at Arizona State, the old Pac-12 after dark as well. It's just Washington State and Arizona. I'm not sure which one they're going to put on there. Looks like it'll be the USC Arizona State will be the ESPN game. Of course, World Series Game 4 later on this evening, as well as Houston looking to take a commanding lead on the Dodgers. They're up 2-1. They'll take on the Dodgers tonight in that World Series Game 4, Game 5 tomorrow night. Here, the Thunderbolts win it 40-7. We will be in action again next week here on Fox Sports Pueblo. It'll be our time start. It'll be 12:30 with the pregame, 1 o'clock with the kickoff. I think it's noon local time there, but I think Washington and Utah is in the Pacific time zone, if I remember right. But anyway, all you got to remember is 12:30 next week, 1 o'clock for the kickoff right here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Of course, we've got the Car Pros John Riston Show coming your way on Wednesday night from the Thunder Zone Pizza and Tap House. I think I'll head over there right after this and maybe get my throat soothed a little bit. Maybe have a nice cold one after this ball game. Always a great place to go after a Thunderwolves victory. But again, the Car Pros John Riston Show on Wednesday night, 6 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Pueblo. Joe Cervi will join me along with the head coach John Riston for that one. Dax Larson is the Assistant Athletic Director in charge of media relations here at Csu-Pueblo. Sean Pooley, who we got to visit with today. It was kind of nice him coming over and talking with us before the ball game. He's the assistant to Dax. Joe Folda is the Athletic Director. Of course, we thank John Riston and all the coaches for Csu-Pueblo for all their cooperation throughout the week. My partner is Joe Cervi, and also special thanks to our producer and engineer of Thunderwolves Football, Caitlin Norton. I'm Jim Brooks, reminding you the final score here today from the Thunderbowl on Senior Day. The Thunderwolves defeat the Mountaineers of Western State. The final score, Thunderwolves win it 40-7. Until we talk to you Wednesday night, this is Jim Brooks bidding you good afternoon from the Thunderbowl.
This has been CSU Csu-Pueblo Thunderwolves football on Fox Sports Pueblo 1350. Catch all the action all season long right here on the home for all things CSU Pueblo Thunderwolves athletics. Fox Sports Pueblo 1350.